last couple weeks are a top 10 defense. I just broke down their game against the Knicks and kind of how they shut down the number one offense in the league. And I'm very excited to see. Obviously, the Bucks are a very different team than the Knicks. Very different way they play offense and do their thing. But I'm really excited to see how this goes.
Yeah, man, that performance against New York was just crazy. The defense on display. We'll talk about Dyson Daniels, I'm sure. Did a fantastic job on Jalen Brunson. Really just all around. Their wings are just, I mean, it's funny because they don't rank that high defensively, but on any given night, they can give you so many problems on defense. And we saw it against New York.
Yeah, he is just a very absurd, really absurd range, closing speed, ground coverage. Oh yeah, this court actually looks way more normal. Okay, it
looks great compared to what we've seen the last couple NBA Cup games.
This is a huge improvement over last year's just horrendous eyesore of a court.
It was really bad. I'm glad they came to their senses. It's very interesting that they decided to scale it back for the Vegas games, but then they still went like
balls
all out for the regular one.
Yeah, all right, we are
very interesting. Also, did you see Dennis Schroeder going to Golden State right before we went live? They just finalized the deal.
I did. I like that. They gave up basically nothing to get him. I think Schroeder's a really damn good player. I feel like there are other destinations I would have preferred to see him at just for like I still don't know if Schroeder makes this Warriors team like a contender, but
yeah,
it will be so helpful. The Warriors just so badly need more guys who can create and dribble. That was one of the main issues in their loss to the Rockets in the quarterfinals. They just could not get any good looks outside of their, motion passing stuff, which of course is good, but has its limits. And let's see how is Dame time going to be Dame. Dame versus Trey is a very fun point guard matchup.
It's fun. Yeah, those are two guys. If we're lucky, we'll see some back and forth action between them at some point.
Lucky. Interesting. Andre Jackson getting the start is interesting. He has not been playing a ton recently, I don't think, right? Or maybe he hasn't been starting.
Not entirely sure. Yeah, I don't think he's usually starting for them though.
Yeah, no, definitely not. But Taurean Prince is Doc Rivers' love,
Cavalier legend.
Did Prince play for the Cavs?
Yeah, very briefly.
I legitimately have zero recollection of that. There's Andre Jackson making a play. I'm looking it up right now to see his recent minute splits, and not a great start for our Hawks, Tony.
No, 7-0 pretty quick. It's not ideal, but they'll bounce back. It's okay.
Yeah, Andre Jackson did last game against the Magic. He played 8 minutes. So cool to see him starting this one off. Just like the length and the athleticism of the Bucks here really just taking over, and kind of a way like the Hawks defense want to play. They want to play fast and they want to run, force transition opportunities. But Giannis, Andre Jackson, the Bucks are here for some unfinished business, maybe.
Yeah, they lost to your Indiana Pacers last year.
They did lose to my Indiana Pacers.
Many people saying that might have been the peak of Kyrie's
finalists. I'll take, or finals appearance. We'll take it.
Yeah. No, I mean it was awesome seeing them play last year. That run from Indiana was just incredible. I hope that my Cleveland Cavaliers would have been on this stage this year, but you can't make it every year. It's okay. We'll be there eventually.
Yeah, not everyone's built for the cup,
It's true, man. We've seen some great cup performances. I want to talk about the Rockets at some point too, because speaking of defense, I mean, oh man, that was a monster performance against Golden State. It was funny. So I didn't watch this season of Survivor, but was the finale on at the same time as that game, right? There's a connection, I promise.
The finale.
Okay,
it's like,
there was an episode on though?
They're doing a 2-part finale this year, but It's just like last night was final 5 and 6 votes. And then the finale next week is going to be just Final Four, and then whatever. So yeah, what's your connection?
I have my connection. So I'm watching Warriors Rockets, and I saw you tweet something about like this is the greatest new era or something, and I'm like, wow, he must really love the Houston Rockets. This is crazy. And then I realized Survivor's on, so I was like, wow,
it's a really good new. It might be the best. It's potentially on its way to be one of the best new era finales, one of the best new era Final Fours, where pretty much everyone left. Either like I think probably two. Everyone. I wouldn't really be upset with any winner at this point.
That's great. That's always good to feel.
The one person who's like probably not deserving is someone who I really like, so I wouldn't be mad if they won, just because my own personal biases. But it's shaping up to be good. It's been a pretty crazy end of the season that I'm very excited to see
That's sweet
how this turns out. But yeah, I was like, I enjoy this Houston Rockets team, but
yeah, maybe not that much.
Not that much. I mean,
yeah.
I tweeted something before the game. I was like, "No disrespect to Houston, but we need Steph in the cup." And all the Rockets fans were like, "Disrespect." I'm like, "Dog, I just want to see Steph in the NBA."
It would have been great seeing him in Vegas. I was hoping that we would get, even though I picked the Hawks to win today, I was hoping we would get Steph versus Giannis in the NBA Cup Finals, because we probably won't see them in the NBA Finals against each other. But we could get the NBA Cup. That would have been cool. But
let's see if the Hawks can get anything going here.
Yeah.
JJ short roll, Risa share. There we go. That was a good look.
Good look, though. Yeah. You'll take that compared to what they had the last few times.
That's a great look. And
yeah, I don't know how they're going to contain Giannis. That's going to be their challenge.
I don't really know either. Like some of these Giannis games are just like matchup diff. Like even in the even Orlando is better. I think definitely better suited to guard.
Yeah, like, bigger bodies.
Like Jalen Johnson, for as good of a defender he is, so they're probably going to switch this. So I'm very curious to see how Capella fares. That's going in. No, I feel like every time Brook takes a deep wing three, I think it's but,
yeah, it's that spot.
Yeah, the Hawks are like pretty brazen with their switching. They switched Capella onto like Brunson and Mikhail, like even though he certainly probably doesn't have the foot speed to be doing that as often as they want him to, they have no qualms. And I feel like the tried and true Giannis strategy has always just been stick your biggest, thickest body on him and don't let him bully you. Like the classic Al Horford, Thad Young type strategy. And I would guess we see some of that, but who knows? But
all right, Cavs legend, defensive possession right there.
Cavs legend.
Yeah, I pulled it up. Yeah, so I pulled up his basketball reference. He played 29 games for the Cavs in 2020-21.
Really?
He averaged 10 points per game.
Zero rebounds. Trey, there we go.
It's okay. Most of us don't want to remember those days, but yeah, he was out there.
Legitimately do not remember. You could totally be lying to me.
Cavalier legend, man. There's gonna be a statue one day.
More Torian Prince driving kick. Wow, this is a Doc Rivers offense, man. Hey, beautiful!
There we go.
Goodness, beautiful.
Great finish, up and under.
See, there's the Hawks, just so good in transition with Trey as a playmaker. Obviously, one of the benefits of having Trey with all these giant wings is we can just run in transition whenever Trey gets the ball in. Oh my! He tried over it. That was quite the attempt. That was quite the attempt.
Yeah,
I was like,
it does. It bums me out a little bit that Giannis and Dame haven't developed that elite chemistry yet between the two. That was I was so excited to see them. They've definitely this year's been much better than last year, but
definitely
still waiting for them.
Is oh my goodness, great! Is that not a foul? Wow. Anyways, I'm so ready for the Hawks to get another. It sucks that the Hawks that Trey ended up with post prime Capella, because 2018, 2017 Capella would have been the perfect Trey partner.
Yeah, I was thinking that he's just lost a little bit of that athleticism that he had in Houston, so it hasn't been as perfect of a fit. Still
Right.
a good option, but it's just like, man, Trey would have been nasty with Capella as a lob threat, but James Harden had to hog him for a
Right,
couple of
like
years
Capella's a
there.
good player. Like he can still play. He's still a very
Mm.
solid option. Just like does not have the kind of lift that he once did. Like still really strong, smart player. Generally, his finishing has never been. I feel like his finishing hasn't been that great since he was dunking everything for a little bit. But yeah, I think the Hawks are gonna need like a giant lob threat, paint protecting center eventually for them to hit their ceiling. I think that's probably the direction that it's gonna end up being. Let's see what we got.
Mm. What do you think their ceiling is with Trey Young as their number one option, really?
I think they can make I think they can win a title with Trey Young. Not necessarily this, I'm not. I mean, again, Trey pretty deep run in 2021 with a roster that was Trey plus a bunch of tall athletic guys. Like they were running out like Gallinari, John Collins lineups, and that was really effective. So I think as we see every year in the NBA, teams get lucky. Some paths are easier. I think Trey gives you the kind of offensive floor to where all you need is 1 year of lucky breaks. Especially with, hopefully I don't think Trey's ever had a teammate as good as I think Jalen Johnson's going to be.
Mm.
Who's Trey's best teammate of his career? Why am I blanking?
Is it DeJounte Murray? There's got to be
No.
maybe just but who else would it be?
Tyson Daniels? Okay.
Maybe give him some time.
That's
a good question.
Did
I'm looking up.
he and
Trying to look up
Alden
other
overlap?
teams.
Did they?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Let me see if I can.
I'm trying to think of.
Huh.
Point being, Trey has never had a real second star next to him. That's again, Herder had some
John
really good
Collins.
Yeah, right, Collins, but I don't think I think Jalen Johnson's probably better than all of those guys at their peak now.
Yeah.
So I think that's a thing with this Hawks team.
He had Lance Stevenson for a year.
Oh God. But yeah, I think this team, again, Jalen could be that co-star where I think it's really a perfect situation with Trey because I think Jalen's always going to have some off-dribble creation limitation just because of his stiffness and some of the touch issues. But you don't ever really need him to be a high-volume off-dribble creator because you have Young. And I feel like the buy-in, I tweeted a couple plays yesterday from that Knicks game, and it's something I'm paying attention to right now. The way that Trey Young is buying in as an off-ball player this year, he's cutting more, he's screening more. It's never gonna. I don't think he's never gonna be like Steph or I don't know, like Duncan Robinson or JJ Redick or like Jared McCain as an off-ball guy, but definitely more willingness and just a beautiful.
Yeah, great trade setup right there.
Trey spread pick and roll. What exactly would you like him to do?
It gives you such a high offensive floor, as you said. He raises your floor so high just having him out there.
Pretty good D by research share there. All things considered, walling up on Giannis. Okay, it seems like this Dennis Schroeder thing is confirmed happening.
I think so. Shams has been a little hit or miss recently, so I don't even know anymore, but it does seem like it's been confirmed. That's an interesting move for them.
That's going to be good. It's just I mean, Schroeder is just a really damn good player. He's been phenomenal.
He's had a good year. Yeah.
This year is by far his best year by offensive EPM, career high true shooting, career high 3-point percentage. I believe, I don't think it's career high in scoring because he had some really high scoring years with those garbage OKC teams and back when he was in Atlanta. But Schroeder is just
OKC teams.
I know. Schroeder is just a really solid, stout player, right? He's an excellent driver, incredible getting to the paint and can, make shots and pass off of that. Never a guy you want to like have to rely on. Like that's why it seemed like the Warriors gets him, because you have Steph, you have Draymond. You don't need him to run your offense. You just need another guy. So like you don't need to have like Buddy Hield or like Kuminga being your secondary creator. So yeah, I like that a lot. I'm quite happy with that acquisition overall.
Yeah, I think it was a solid move.
Quinn Snyder's not wearing his red glasses. Did he change them?
Oh, he said he forgot them on his way to Vegas, I guess. But
I really wish Onyeka was better than he is.
So do I, man. I was really high on him his first year out. Because he's just such an athletic. He moves so well for his size. Like you want him to be a little better than he's been. And I thought he would be the starter by now.
A quite good like offensive utility guy. He hasn't been as efficient this year, just from everywhere pretty much. But like his defense is rough, and like his size just shows up so much at the like. It is just so tough with these undersized centers, unless you're like really spectacular in some ways. Which, to be fair, I thought Onyeka had some of those traits. And maybe just was never able to tap into that. Like you can definitely feel his size, and like right there with that. Obviously, I think they ended up calling, or like Trey ended up getting it back. But like that Giannis block, like you felt that.
Yeah,
it's like a Dyson just ripping around. Portis, Bobby Portis is not my favorite player in the world.
He's been pretty rough this year, man.
Bucks fans love him though, right? Like he's like Bucks fans' darling.
Yeah, the sixth man.
He's a cool dude, and I get fans latching onto that. Let's see more of this Trey. Yeah,
all right. Not the most ethical ball, but it's the cup, man. You got to find a way. Got to find a way to win.
It's the cup, and I mean, again, just like Andre Jackson is a good pick. Is a pretty good point of attack defender, but it's Trey. It's like. I don't know. There are very few players in the league who like can stay with Trey one-on-one. He's one of the quickest, one of the best ball handlers we've seen. Gary Trent coming in. He's been better lately. Gary and Bogdan. Did Bogdan come in for Jalen Johnson? I wasn't paying attention.
I wasn't paying attention either. We'll see.
One of my things that I'm really impressed, I'm impressed with the Hawks defense given their talent limitations, and I credit Snyder for this. Like, they have bad defenders. Like, Bogdan is a bad defender. Capella is a very limited defender. Even Trey, who's been better like the last couple of years, still always going to be limited. And I think the fact that they've like built a scheme that is like almost bad player proof in a way. Also, Middleton coming off the bench is crazy. I know he's
still working his way back, but yeah.
Or it's like when the Spurs were bringing Devin Vassell off the bench. I'm like, what is going on here? Why is this a thing?
Yeah, so the Bucks start off 7-0, and it's a 15-5 run since then.
Yep, as we talked about, Hawks were able to get out in transition a little bit, get some easy buckets, get some stops overall. Pretty fun start, back and forth. It really is crazy how much of a difference this court makes.
So much better, so much easier on the eyes.
That red and blue court was just atrocious.
It's so jarring.
It was just atrocious. You're an Eastern Conference guy. How do you fear the Bucks? Are the Bucks scary?
If we're talking, keeping things in perspective, they're nowhere near as scary as like the Boston Celtics. Or honestly, the main thing with Milwaukee is it's just the Giannis factor and Dame. Yeah. Like, I'll toss Dame in there, but you're really not scared of anything they have except for the fact that Giannis could just be the best player on the floor.
I was going to say, it's like I hate to boil it down to that, but it's like, yeah,
he's the X factor. I mean, he could average 36 in a series.
Unless it's like a Nuggets-Bucks finals, you play the Bucks in the series, you do not have the best player in the series. And that's really scary. I think would definitely prefer outside of, I think Boston and Cleveland are certainly the top two contenders at the moment for the East. I feel like that's pretty consensus. Obviously this is a Cavs show, but I feel like even outside, it's pretty.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I would almost So Giannis is obviously scary, but like Orlando, when they're healthy, I almost would be more worried about them from the
I
Cavs
think
perspective.
Orlando is really scary. I
They're
would be
right on the
really
bubble of
curious
being in there.
to see another Cavs Magic series,
I don't
both
want to see
healthy.
it.
I know, yeah.
Yeah,
From a
but no,
neutral
I get
perspective,
it.
just because both teams have leveled up, both teams, in their own ways, like, and hopefully, we get a fully healthy, Garland and Mitchell and everyone for that series. But Cavs are really scary. Not the Cavs. Yes, the Cavs, but the Magic are scary. The Bucks
So good defensively.
and then the Knicks. I feel like the Knicks are the other East team you kind of have to mention just because their offense is ridiculous.
That offense is nuts.
It's gonna
The
really
defense is a vulnerability, though.
It's gonna really hinge on how much. Well, I don't know why they're showing Darren Williams highlights.
I guess he's there. There you go.
I wore a Darren Williams 2011 Los Angeles All-Star shirt to the pickup run today. So,
let's go.
Shout out to him.
Shout out Darren Williams, man.
But again, I'm very curious to see what Mitch Rob looks like when he gets back, because at the beginning of last season, Mitchell Robinson was playing like an all-defense guy. Like he was unbelievable on defense, and having that kind of guy, but it's also kind of like the Robert Williams thing, where it's like you have Mitchell Robinson, you're signing up for like 30 to 40 games of high-level play, and you just got to hope that those 30 to 40 games come in,
at the right time,
important moments, right? Like,
yeah, but I want to say thank you to everyone who's here in the chat with us. Seems like we got a lot of new people here. Go ahead and hit that follow button, become a member. I do basically all the Cavs games, and we try to hit some of the marquee matchups throughout the week. This is Ben's first time here, but I'm sure he'll probably be back. We always try to find special guests. So if you enjoy this, hit that follow button.
For sure. Looks like Bogdan. Hawks have. I feel like that's like the second or third wide open three they have missed.
Yeah, they generated some clean looks.
Which just happens. I mean, that's kind of what happens when you have Trae Young on the floor. Like, you tend to get good looks. There we go. Shout out. Have you seen AJ Green's new nickname?
No.
Derry Bird.
Oh, okay. Actually, I think I did hear that. Derry Bird. That's so wild.
AJ Green's been awesome this year. He's a really good player. It's like it is like extremely good fortune that the Bucks are like, yeah, we have this like local guy. We're gonna keep him around, and it's like, oh shit, this guy's actually like a really good 3-and-D guard. And it's like, wow.
What's hilarious about that is the first Cavs Bucks game we were doing playback, and I'll be honest with you, I completely unfamiliar with AJ Green's game. So we're like, who even is that? We're like talking about him. We're like, oh, okay, it's AJ Green. Not really familiar with him. He went off for like 18 points against the Cavs. He was like, he knocked down like 6 threes. I was like, what's going on? This is wild. So I owe him an apology for being unfamiliar with this game.
He really is that was good defense by Gary Trent too. Definitely good that Gary Trent's been playing better. He had a really really cold. There you go, Bogdan. He had a really cold start to the year, but I mean, and Gary Trent's just like a streaky player. Like he's always been streaky, even at his best. But yeah, AJ is like, I mean, just like had a historic. Chris is ridiculous. Had a historic college shooting profile at I believe it was Northern Iowa. And then he has been a really good defender throughout his NBA. It's gonna every time you watch a Bucks game on national TV, and like AJ Green gets like switched onto someone and gets a stop, they're gonna be like, wow, wow, look at him switching on and playing defense. And it's like, if for obvious reason, and it's like AJ Green has been a good point of attack defender his entire career, and it's like, oh, look at him hanging in there.
Like, always love that.
It's like, well, it's kind of like part of what he does well. Looks like Doc's giving him some words of encouragement, maybe. I don't know.
Hopefully some words of wisdom. I don't know. How do you feel about Doc Rivers? Is he washed? Was he ever really a legend to begin with?
I was going to say, I feel like it's hard to be washed if you want. I don't know.
He's really riding that one championship for like 2 decades now.
Of the Doc. I mean, I feel like, is anyone really high on Doc Rivers? I mean, he just
at this point, no.
Very clearly seems I mean, he's not like the worst coach of all time or anything, but it's and
Yeah.
again, he has Giannis, but the Bucks, I mean, he just like doesn't have the like creative offensive design. He doesn't really seem to be the type to maximize his talent, even though role players are playing better at the moment. So we'll give him credit for that. But I feel like these are the things we look at, right? Like how are your schemes? Are you maximizing talent that might not have been maximized elsewhere? Beautiful passes.
That was a laser pass. I don't even know how it
Giannis
got
is
through.
so ridiculous.
Yeah.
I feel like Giannis. I haven't watched a ton of the Bucks super close this year, but I feel like Giannis's defense in the games that I've seen has been like hit or miss, which is kind of how it was last year too.
Yeah, it was awful in the two Cavs games, or sorry, the one Cavs game. He didn't play the second one, and that's the only time where I'm like really, really locked in because the Cavs are playing. So I don't know how he's been playing defensively for most of the year, but I know against the Cavs, it's really just an effort thing. Like he
It's
just
been
didn't
like
seem
that for the last
interested.
couple seasons, and I get it because of just how much he has to do on offense.
AJ Green,
There's AJ, just
Larry
because of how
Bird.
much he has to do on offense. Like I get it,
Yeah.
but he's certainly just like not the like talent wise, sure, but like impact wise, and he's just definitely not the defensive player of the year level guy that he was. And I think it's always interesting because I was writing up my third season. Oh my Bogdan, what a pass! There's Giannis. That was a good rotation, but he just ended up. I was writing up my third season award picks, and I have Jokic as the MVP. And I feel like a lot of the people who maybe want Giannis to an MVP will cite his defense, but like I don't think they're, which is, this feels crazy to say, in terms of like play-to-play impact these days, not all that different. Obviously, in terms of like talent, and one game I need a defender, I'm taking Giannis, obviously. But in terms of MVP, these awards are not like talent awards; they're impact awards. They're how are they playing today awards. So I think it's interesting. It's like Giannis is kind of turned, as he's aged, has turned into this like heliocentric offensive hub who is very like he'll have his nights where he's super locked in on defense. He'll have his nights, like you said, that that game against the Cavs. They had that game they won against Houston a couple weeks ago. He had some pretty rough moments. So Chris is so ridiculous. He terrifies me. Honestly, I feel like as an Eastern Conference, I'm like, I just know Chris Middleton's going to go off for 40 at the worst time. I mean, he killed the Pacers last year.
Dude, some of the shots he was hitting in the playoffs, that was it game one when they went to overtime. He hit like 3 game-tying shots or something ridiculous.
He
I don't
spiked my
understand
blood
him.
pressure so much during that.
Just
like,
an unbelievable shot maker in the clutch.
I'm very curious about these Jalen Johnson lineups with no Trey. That's a great drive right there.
Yeah, good take right there.
And like, how is he winning without a screen? What do his creation reps look like? This is a really fun Hawks lineup with just like it's effectively just like 5, 6, 7 to 6, 9 wings.
Yeah, that's what we've been talking about a lot on these streams. Is just when you have a bunch of wings in the NBA, even if they're not as talented as Boston or New York or anything like that, when you just put a bunch of versatile wings together, like you have so many options. You can just make things happen, especially with a great coach pushing the right buttons. Like you can make things happen in the NBA. So
there's like
the Hawks have done a good job.
Huge disparity between
wings.
like the wings length athleticism that the Hawks have versus the Bucks have.
Yeah, the athleticism especially.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The Bucks have got to be up there for oldest teams in the league. I know the Sixers are the oldest team in the league. I don't know who's like
that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know the Sixers are oldest. I bet the Bucks got to be up there. Like they are certainly.
Yeah, so the 76ers are the oldest team in the NBA. Average age is 28.3. The Suns are second. It looks like Milwaukee's 1, 2. Milwaukee's 7th, which is a little surprising. I would have thought they'd be a little higher up there, but it's Philly, Phoenix, the Clippers, Golden State, Dallas, Miami, then Milwaukee.
Oh man, I have some very unfortunate breaking news to report. Speaking of
Let's
the
hear it.
Sixers, did you see this?
No. Is it Joel Embiid?
No, actually, Jared
Something else?
McCain tore his meniscus.
Oh, brother.
What
No.
the hell? I don't even know what to
He's
say.
been he's literally the only shining light in Philly right now. It's been the season from hell for them. And he's been like the only person who's like worth getting excited about. Oof. That is that is brutal,
Legitimately,
man.
apparently, Jake Fisher says Jared McCain informed Sixers staffers of left knee soreness last night. After last night's game against Indiana, MRI revealed that he needs lateral meniscus tear, et cetera, et cetera. That's
Awful.
insane.
That's disappointing. Would he be like who do you have leading the rookie of the year race? Would it have been McCain right now?
Easily, yeah.
Yeah. Is anyone else even close?
I don't think so. I think so.
Maybe Edie before he got injured.
I, I was doing the I did my rookie ladder as well
Okay.
as the I did the awards picks for sports casting where I had McCain and then I did the rookie ladder. So I'll pull that up right now, but there's a bunch of guys who I think have a pretty good case now, assuming McCain just like cooked now, which is horrible. Um it's like actually in second I had Jalen Wells,
Mm.
who has been playing unbelievable ball for the Grizzlies. The two Grizzlies in that top tier, he and Edie. Obviously, Edie's been injured, but like he's had a great season. And then the other ones in that group are Steph Castle, who's been good in San Antonio. I think Connect has
Ooh,
Lakers are
connect. Yeah.
not in a great place, but Connect has been awesome. And then Donovan Clingan has been
Oh, is he playing well?
incredible.
I haven't watched many of their
He's
games.
been
I
he's
don't know if
been
I've
un,
caught any of their games.
he's been unbelievable. He
That's good to
also has
see.
been dealing with some injuries.
Yeah.
And he doesn't play as much as like a Castle or a McCain or someone like that. I think he's under 20 minutes a game, but I believe he's leading the league in block rate. Um,
Mm, wow.
which is like he has been ridiculously good. He had a game, it was the second of like the Blazers Wolves games where he had 8 blocks and 5 in the fourth quarter.
It's wild.
Yeah,
That's
insane.
awesome to see. I'm
Anyways,
glad to see
back
some
to
of these guys
some of my
performing
worries
well.
with Jalen Johnson and the creation stuff. Shout out Vic Krejci though. I love seeing Vic Krejci working himself into the rotation. That's so sick. Another OKC legend. I don't know how much you know about Vit, but like
Not
he
too much.
is,
You can ISO right now.
yeah,
Give me
Vit
some
is a
details.
guy who I've always really liked. Was never like always sure about him about being a guy, but like had like a crazy dime,
Mm.
or like in the preseason that you might remember, but like he, I believe it was like the U20 like B division. He was cooking for Belgium or no, Czech Republic, I think.
Mm.
I remember there was a guy named Henry Drell, who's a Finnish player. I don't know where he is now, but I think like the mainstream scouting was like, this is the best guy in this tournament. I'm like, no, Vic Krejci is so much better. Um, and one of them is like a fringe rotation guy to them. But anyways, I love Krejci. Just like a 6'8", 6'9" wing with like real ball skills was always the sell with Krejci. Like that was,
A
he's
little awkward, but it got there.
a little awkward, but trying to do stuff there. Bogdan. Anyway, yeah, it's just like I really love that with a coach like Quinn Snyder. From the games I've seen, seems like he's been fine on defense. I don't really tend to notice him
Mm.
like getting targeted. This is an interesting match. Yeah, it's not gonna go well for the Hawks, unfortunately.
Yeah, nice burst of acceleration. You still see the signs from Dame, the vintage Dame every once in a
Every
while. That
once in a while,
speed.
he's definitely
Yeah.
lost a step, but
Ooh, good block.
good block by Brook. I feel like Brook is still pretty damn good.
Pull up. Brooke, I was looking
Oh my goodness.
their defensive rating when he's not on the floor, just completely plummets. But when Brook is on the floor, they're like actually a decent defensive team. And then when he's off the floor, his impact is still so huge for them.
Yeah, there's another one. Just him
Another good contest. Yeah.
altering that shot. Just I feel like Brook's gonna be good forever. Like his size, his shooting, just like obviously has this like innate feel for how to protect the rim without fouling, how to put his hands in the right place to make a contest. And even though he's just not moving like he once was, I he's probably beyond his defensive player of the year level impact peak.
He's so good in the drop. That's the thing. It's like even without, the athleticism or the foot speed, he just understands how to drop back, perfectly contest the rim without fouling. Him and Al Horford are like kings of the drop coverage, man. These veterans who just completely understand how to protect the rim.
Except Al's going to be switching.
I was going to say Al can actually switch too, so give him some credit. He had Darius Garland,
7 years old,
torture chamber,
switching out onto like whichever poor Sixers guard is,
yeah.
Damn, AJ Green.
Yeah,
this is the AJ
King
Green
right
show.
now.
Is AJ Green one of the best two-sport athletes of all time?
Ooh, what's the list? AJ Green at the top, and then who else?
Bo Jackson, Michael.
You got like Bo Jackson below him somewhere.
Look, it's pretty crazy to be, a legendary NFL receiver and then come and have a career as a, a spunky role player for the Milwaukee.
Yeah. Man, he's living out the dream that I wanted Sam Merrill to have in Vegas, but it's all right.
Hey, Sam Merrill's dope though.
Yeah, he is. He's having a little bit of a rough year. We're yearning for Merrill mania. We're just praying for it to come back.
I can't believe this McCain news. That's awful.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Absolute nightmare of a season for Philly.
Someone in like a, people were talking, it's like nightmare season for the Sixers. I'm like, that's a sentence you could have said any day over the last 10 years and it would have worked. But I feel like maybe this season might be even more than usual.
Might be rock bottom.
With the
this might be rock bottom.
Like Embiid with like another just, and that's the thing with his like weird injuries. It's like you can't even say like, oh, he's out of shape. Like it's not like a glute or a hamstring, or like an ankle or something where it's like, oh, he wasn't, conditioning and stuff. It's like a sinus fracture. I didn't even know you could fracture your sinus.
Darius Garland's been hit in the face every game for the last 3 years, and even he didn't fracture that. So, like, Joel Embiid just finding new ways to get injured.
He must have, like, the softest jaw tissue of all. Or, like, what is going on? I don't know. I have always kind of wanted the Sixers to be able to break through with this core, but it's I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you said, it's been a nightmare for a while, but at least 5 years ago or whenever you would still say trust the process. You could convince yourself. At this point, we're getting near the end of the process. I don't know how much more we can progress to. This was kind of like the all-in move.
In terms of like, like again, in terms of like building a successful team and like the process, quote unquote, was a resounding success in terms of like the talent they acquired. And, I suppose didn't necessarily consider how like they'd just be like the unluckiest cursed franchise ever. But I don't know. It's really sad. I wish it wasn't like that. But hey, it just opens up another slot for the Pacers to get in the playoffs.
True.
I guess.
Yeah.
I hate that this is where we are, but
it happens, man. I think just because of I think we talked about this when we recorded our most recent pod, but like sometimes it happens. You look at Darius Garland, he has the breakout year. And then he takes a step back in the following year. I think that might be what we're seeing with Tyrese. I'm not ready to sell all my Halliburton stock like a lot of people have been. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a weird sign of like a middling season, and then next year we see the bounce back.
Yeah, I think that's certainly possible. NBA fans tend to lack patience, which I get.
Yeah.
It can be hard to be patient, but like even a single season is like a relatively small sample in the grand scheme of things, right? So it's like, I think like the Garland example is great. Like we have 3 seasons plus high school, or I guess he barely played in college either. But point being, Bogdan, let's see if Onyeka can get something going. just has not been his best game, unfortunately. They've been, I mean, he's just like hasn't been able to score on the rim, and the Bucks are having an easy time targeting him. Portis, it's probably a shot that Atlanta's going to be okay with giving up.
Yeah. All right, 10-point lead for Milwaukee. You blink and all of a sudden they're up 10 now.
I mean, this whole thing has been Trae Young off the floor, right? I mean,
I think so, yeah.
Their offense without
checking
Trae
back in
really can't generate much, and that's going to be the issue with this Hawks team, or at least one of the issues until either maybe Jalen Johnson can take another step as a creator. Let's see what Dame's got 1v1.
Oof.
He tried to draw the foul.
Tough shot. Yeah, I was gonna say it's a tough shot because you're trying to get the foul there,
and over a good defender.
What have you thought about Ricochet so far this year? Number 1 overall pick.
Not not necessarily a banner possession right there. I mean, that's again, Bucks are going to be cool. I think Onyeka is shooting under 30% from 3 this year, so they're going to live with that. I think Ricochet has been quite solid. I mean, I didn't like the pick. I still think again, I'm done judging him or thinking about him in the context of other number 1 picks.
Yeah,
because that's always just going to be like a negative thing. But just kind of as a rookie, as a lottery pick, big strong move by Jalen.
Bobby Portis talking to him now.
So good in transition. I think Ricochet, like outside of his shots not falling, which like his shots are really not falling, which makes sense. He was fairly streaky in France. Like he's a good shooting prospect. Like the good moments, like when he's on, right? Like he is an awesome movement shooter, 6'9", whatever, can get around there. But I think he's like sub 50 true shooting this year, just really sub 30 from 3. But is someone who, like, despite those terrible splits, like I think has been honestly playing all right. Like his defense is quite solid already. Hasn't been the best in this game. There's been a couple of plays where he's gotten caught on screens, but like he is super agile, really mobile, tries really hard, and then offensively, like doesn't really make shots yet and can't really dribble. But just I don't know how to explain it other than just like one of those guys who knows how to play. Who just like knows where he's supposed to be. His feel has really impressed me. Oh boy! Oh boy!
Effortless.
Very good, Dame. Man, that was gold.
They're right back at him.
There you go.
Here we go. They're staying in there, man. That's the key.
The Hawks
got to stay in the game.
Hawks really need Bogdan to be a secondary creator. And baby Dyson, that was a terrible pass. I have no idea. And all of a sudden, 2-point game.
Yeah, just you got to stay in the games. Then hopefully you get that Trae Young boost out of nowhere where he gives you like 10 straight points in crunch time.
Honestly, hilarious that run fully coincided with Trae being back on the floor. And I don't think Trae
as soon as he came out there.
I don't think he contributed a single point or assist or defensive play. He literally
just his aura.
He literally did nothing that entire run. It was fully his aura. But yeah, I do really like Reese. Like I think Ricochet is going to be a really solid player. Like my kind of comp-ish for him is always like the Otto Porter plus, which is like, you hear that for number 1 pick and it's like, oh god.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But
it's the long-term vision with him, like, right? He's young. He's got the raw skills.
Again, it's like, again, I do not think it was the right decision for the Hawks, but like assuming, okay, how is that even a challenge? Who would guess anything but the rap? Like what? There's no way this person gets that wrong. I'm not watching with the audio, but like there's no what? Come on.
He guessed Raptors.
It is the Raptors.
Yeah. I guess you can convince yourself.
Yeah, I was gonna say that there are other teams that have. Oh boy.
Oh, is there a multiple choice? I have my face blocking it.
It is multiple.
Okay, I didn't see that. Okay, I'm moving that.
Do you know this one? I know this one.
This is Denver, right?
I believe this is Atlanta's.
Oh, it says ATL on it.
Yes.
Doesn't Denver also have the yellow though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Denver also
But yeah,
has
it literally has ATL on it, so I would hope you get that one.
I should know this because I wrote a story for Sportscasting ranking. This one you should come on, Tony. You know you've got to be able to get this one.
Is that Milwaukee?
Yes, that is Milwaukee's court.
Really? They have the purple court? It's gross.
It looks way more blue, actually.
I thought so, yeah.
That looks weirdly purple. The Minnesota court is lime green.
Yeah.
And then
I saw the Antlers, and I thought their court was more blue. That's why I was hesitating, but I was pretty sure that's Milwaukee.
Picture. But yeah, one of my favorite things I get to do for work is like writing about jerseys or courts and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was unfortunately most of these aren't that incredible in terms of the courts, but there are some courts that I don't know.
What'd you think of not the Cavs NBA Cup court, but you saw their land court where it's like the blue, beautiful, right?
Beautiful.
Gorgeous.
The like alternate courts that aren't the cup courts are killing it this year. Like I don't know if you've seen the Raptors one. Everyone's I feel like is loved.
The throwback, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful. They should just go back full time. Just
the Clippers one. The Clippers one with like the palm trees. I really like. Who else has cool city courts? I know there's other teams with cool city courts.
Doesn't Phoenix have a pretty good one? Am I remembering that correctly?
The Valley,
Clippers looks nice. I'm looking at that.
My favorite of the NBA Cup courts was Charlotte's though, with like the baby blue with like the honeycomb background. That was
that honeycomb. The honeycomb really adds.
Charlotte color branding hard to. Let's see, they're switching everything again, except for that.
Get a push shot from Brooks, same spot that Portis just hit one earlier.
Hunter's been huge recently. He hasn't done anything in this game yet, but
he led everyone in scoring against New York.
Did he? Yeah, I guess that's true.
Killed the Cavs too. He had like 26 against us.
He's a good player. He's just another one of these guys who just like is never healthy. And yeah, Giannis against these lineups with no Jalen Johnson. Very curious to see what their plan against Giannis is. And they're bringing in Capella now, which I presume is going to. And is Jalen Johnson coming back in the game? I think Jalen Johnson's coming back in the game. Yeah, they just can't do this matchup without him really. And there's Trey creating guys wide open looks the entire game because that's what he does.
Yes, it makes it look so easy.
Dame. There we go. I mean, that's just
another guy who makes it look easy.
I'm pretty sure Dame
that was a good contest.
I'm going to look it up now, but I'm pretty sure Dame hasn't even been shooting the ball like that well this year from three. I'm looking at it right now. Okay, no, he's back up to 37%. I'm pretty sure he was lower earlier in the year, but he's definitely been better as of late. And Giannis in transition, oh boy. Oh, good stop by Dame.
Yeah, stayed right in front of him, took the hit.
That was great.
Ooh,
right, transition. There we go. Beautiful play.
Two-way play there.
That's exactly what they need, man. Just Hunter is a really useful piece who just is another one of these guys. So it's like, yeah, we'll get 40, hopefully we'll get 40 good games out of him. I feel like I haven't noticed Dyson a ton in this game.
No, not really. He's been a little quiet.
The Bucks are definitely not really targeting him on defense, understandably so. And this is also not the matchup. Like the Bucks aren't like a pass heavy team. I don't actually know where they rank in passes per game, but I can't imagine it's very high. I'm going to look that up right now again.
Yeah.
I'd
imagine it's not too high.
Hawks thrive on teams that love the pass. They love the jump in passing lanes. Milwaukee are bottom 10 in passes per game.
Okay.
So that does make sense. That the Hawks thrive on jumping passes. They're like top 3, I think, in turnover. Oh boy,
air ball from Hunter right there.
I believe the Hawks defense is top 3 in turnover rate. Also, another really interesting thing. The Hawks have the lowest opponent time to shot of any defense. So teams the Hawks like bait teams into playing fast because they gamble, because they jump passing lanes, and because they want players to like be out of their comfort zone and shoot quickly. They don't like because at least my working theory is like opposite of a lot of defenses where when they can set in the half court, I feel like teams can kind of pick on their weak points more.
Yeah. That's a really good point right there. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. Dyson's offense still ways away, but I'm pretty sure he's still,
how old is he?
He's still 20.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He was a really young prospect. He was one of the youngest guys in that class. I'll look it up. I'll look up his age right now, but I think he's 20. Hunter.
There you go. It's that one.
Yeah, I know he was in. Okay, he's 21 now, but still, like,
okay, still super young.
Yeah, he's literally. I'm like 2 years younger, 2 or 3 years younger than me. I'm like, that's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's that switch with Capella again.
Pretty decent job right there. Late call.
Yeah, I mean,
did a good job all the way to the rim, though.
I'd like to see that. It looks pretty clean live, but again, that's the thing with Giannis. It's like you guard him the whole way, and yeah, it's probably
got him. Yeah.
Yeah, he probably fouled him 3 times there.
Yeah, Giannis is just so physical, and he initiates that contact. It's really hard not to foul him when he's rumbling to the rim. You got to be basically perfect. You have to be strong enough to take those hits without, returning the favor. Very tough player to guard, as I'm sure everyone knows. I think he's leading the NBA in scoring, right?
Oh, damn. Yes, he is. Oh, damn. Dylan Harper just hit a game-winning 3. That's fire. I feel like the Hawks offense has been pretty good in this game. They just aren't hitting their looks. Like they've had a bunch of those floaters in like floater range, like some of those Onyeka shots, a couple of the threes. So I feel pretty good about, even though Atlanta's down 7, like and they under 50 in the first half. I feel like it's been a better offensive performance than. But I feel like that's the thing with like these like Trey teams with some limited offensive pieces. It's like your shot quality is going to be good. Yeah.
What's interesting right now, looking at the box score, the Hawks are shooting better from the 3-point line than they are from the floor right now. 38% from the field, 40% from 3.
How many threes are they taking compared to their field goals?
So they've taken 15 threes and 39 total shots. So about a little under half there, but
okay, so yeah, pretty typical, I think. Or actually, that's probably higher than normal, honestly. But yeah, I feel like
their bench is shooting it really well
from
like 3.
Probably Bogdan, I'm sure, contributing.
Bogdan's 2 of 3, Hunter's 2 of 4, and then Okongwu got the 1.
Yes, Okongwu with the corner. I was going to bring this up, but at halftime, I want to talk about East All-Stars with you.
Let's do it.
But
I'm down
because I think there's a lot of potential borderline questionable guys in this game. Obviously, Giannis is going to start, but I think it's like Dame, Trey, and Jalen Johnson. I think are all guys who I could see getting in and see not getting in. Like actually no. I think the league will respect Dame more than I'm not.
Reputation goes a long way.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's like undeserving, but I think he has the kind of name value boost that even if he's maybe a little worse than like a Trey or whoever we'll talk about, he's probably gonna get it. Like, but I mean, again, I think that's probably deserving. I think he's been great this year. I think he's been better than he was last year when he made it.
Yeah, it'll be a fun discussion. I'm thinking not to spoil our discussion, but there's got to be at least 2 Cavs in there. At least 2. But we'll have to break it down. At least 3? Okay, I can get on board with that too.
I think I don't think Allen, like there's no way they get
no Allen
with just the counting stats.
Yeah, he's been the worst member. When I say worst, I don't mean in like that bad of a way, but out of the core 4, he's definitely been the one who hasn't been as exciting and special just because Mobley's taken the leap. Garland's had a huge bounce back year, and Donovan Mitchell is still Donovan Mitchell.
Right. It's just like business as usual. It's like, oh, Allen's a top 40 player again, and can get you 20 on nights when you need him to is totally fine. That's always one. I think we might have talked about this on the pod, but I've always appreciated Allen's like willingness and ability to scale down his usage and like his minutes. Obviously, don't know him personally or like know the team that well, but seems like a guy who has very little ego when it comes to that thing. Or at least that's always how it's come across to me as an outsider, which I think is valuable. Like he's, it's not just playing time, but willing to take less shots, willing to do more dirty work stuff. Honestly, at some points, I don't know if you'd agree. I feel like he's been like too passive at times. Look, wow.
Yeah. I would like to see him be a little more aggressive with his
rotation
touches.
by Dyson was incredible. And I think part of it is probably just like Kenny really wanting them to like pass out of that like middle of the floor area. But there's sometimes I'm like, dude, you're Jared Allen. You're 10 feet away.
Just go hard to the rim.
Get the ball into the rim.
Yeah, there's some balancing they still need to figure out. But Allen's actually a career low usage. So absolutely buying into just, what the team needs from him. I still think he'd be a little more aggressive when he does have the ball, though.
Right. But I think overall, again, like I am consistently impressed with his ability, with his willingness. Yeah. And, I think it's obviously mentality, but I think it's also like skill. There are skill and talent elements to being able to play without the ball. And Allen is absolutely one of the best bigs in the league when it comes to, especially he might be the best non-shooting big when it comes to like playing without the ball. Because most of the
honestly, he's got to be up there.
Like stretch fives, like Brook Lopez is. I just space the floor and stuff, but Allen doesn't space the floor, and yet he's like incredible. Ooh, that was another good rotation. They're really pinching hard on Giannis right now.
Here we go, open three, missed it. Another board though, too open. Yeah, he thought about it too much.
What's this Dame Giannis pick and roll? Not much yet. What the hell?
Another trying to grift a little bit.
Another just grenade that's not working out. See if the Hawks can get some offense. That was a terrible decision by Trey. Yeah, and then the Bucks are out in transition. Oh, Capella with it.
Giannis has missed a couple there. Good defense.
Good defense and maybe some good fortune as well.
Oof.
Oh. Dyson.
All right.
I think, rightfully so because of all of the attention his defense gets. Like, he's still a pretty harmful offensive player. Which
I don't think that one even got above the rim. That was just a line
he's
drive.
21 years old. Like, But we've seen it throughout this game. It's not just like the bad misses, but like he'll pass up open shots. He's not really able to create much separation off of the dribble. Has some nice touch when he can get to like his floater. And I don't think we've seen it in this game, but the Hawks have been using him as a screener more this year, which I really like. That's just another benefit of playing with Trae Young. And another reason that Trae is so good at maximizing players, because he's one of the, I'd say he's probably one of the most blitzed players in the league, if I had to guess.
Wasn't he like the most double teamed player last year or something? Like either last year or 2 years ago, I think he was. I remember seeing that.
He's got to be, this is definitely not Dyson's best off. He's had better offensive games, but still, I think I like for like the long term, I really like that they're giving him the kind of chances that they are. This is just like a short term kind of comment more than a long term. I still have my questions about Dyson's ultimate offensive ceiling, but like definitely got to keep in mind. Yeah, like his 4-on-3 playmaking, like his short roll stuff. I love that when they, when they use Trae.
I'm getting the rebound right there.
Look at Trae getting the rebound.
Oh, got pushed. Yeah, Dyson Daniels, unironically, he could follow that Isaac Okoro path a little bit on offense. Learn how to create out of the short roll, get your 3-point percentage up. Our boy's shooting like 48% from three this year.
I know, it's ridiculous.
It's career high per 36 attempts. It's still low volume, but it's a
low,
career high per 36. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I just
he's playing only 20 minutes per game.
Just needed to work in the playoffs.
Yeah, so do I, man. If you just hit a couple more last year against Boston, the narrative would have changed, but it still just hasn't done it in the playoffs yet.
I mean, to me, the thing with is like, it's more just like what he does other than, because like I feel like I'm remembering last year in the playoffs, he really struggled when they ran him off the line or when he had to dribble the ball.
Just looked scared, didn't make the right moves.
Which is unfortunate because, like, I feel like last season he made such good strides in his confidence as a handler. Like, there were so many good moments he had in the regular season, like attacking confidently off closeouts and driving, and it's like all that goes away in the playoffs, which is, of course, he's still a young player. I feel like it's easy to forget. Like he's feels like he's been around forever. How old is he? He's like 20.
I want to say he's 23. I'm going to check right now. I know he's just about the same age as Mobley. Yeah, he's 23. Oh, he'll be 24 in January. So
yeah, Mobley was a little older for his class, and I think Okoro was pretty like normal or young for his class, if I remember.
So still pretty young, and he's definitely been trending upwards. But there's still, that's the main thing. We're at this stage in the Cavs process. It's all about you gotta prove it in the playoffs. We know you can get good stuff done in the regular season. Playoffs are going to be make or break for a lot of guys. Maybe not make or breaks. They're still young, but it's going to be, they got to prove it.
I feel like ever since I said that Dyson was quiet on defense, he's made some ridiculous plays.
Just freaking havoc.
The way that he gets over ball screen is unbelievable. Like, unreal.
Sometimes, that good to great defense really does seem quiet because a lot of it is just like not allowing shots.
Absolutely.
Like Okoro, again, to keep bringing him up. It's so hard to put into perspective how good he is sometimes because what he's doing really good is just not allowing guys to get shots off. I don't know what just happened right there. Did he double dribble or did it get deflected? Everyone stopped for a second.
Yeah, good block. He's had a couple of those like high point blocks, didn't like I feel like it's been a nice
little throwback game.
It's been a nice Capella game too. Like he's had some good moments this year. Like I said, he was good on defense against the Knicks. He had some. It's like you see Capella switching on to Jalen Brunson, and you're like, oh no, and then it goes well, and it's like, oh,
yeah,
nice.
Capella built for the NBA Cup. He's here for this.
He's a player I've always liked. I feel like like the washed allegations always come a little too soon. Where it's like,
yeah,
he certainly is much more limited than he used to be.
He's declined a little bit, but it's not quite washed yet. You don't want to take it too far there.
Yes. Absolutely. He's declined, but still a useful player.
Maybe even just regressed. Maybe not even a full-on decline, but regressed a little bit.
Probably not the guy you want as your starting center on a good playoff team, but like as a guy who can be useful.
Man, just gave them nothing on that possession. Good board to clean up the half there. Hawks down 6, but it's really a competitive game. This has been a good half.
I don't feel like the Bucks have played very well, which is and I feel like the Hawks have played better than their scores. So maybe that's gonna flip, but yeah, I feel pretty good about. I mean, I do feel like the Bucks hit a lot of tough shots, which is kind of what they do. They have Chris Middleton, they have Dame. Giannis is going to do his thing in transition, but I think they've done a pretty good job limiting what they want to do, and they've gotten great looks all game. So it's just going to be a matter of making them. But
Trae Young's on triple-double watch.
What's Trae Young's box looking like?
12 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. He's 1 of 5 shooting, but he's working up a triple-double there.
Trey had a 20 assist. Trey had a 20 assist game. Oh, that was against the Cavs.
Yeah, that was against us.
I was going to say I knew he had a 20 assist game.
Yeah, it's been pretty good basketball game.
Yeah,
Bogdan's the only other one with 10 points for Atlanta, and then Giannis got 14. Dame has 10. AJ Green 9 points off the bench. He's 3 of 5.
What a beast! But yeah, so. I've been thinking a lot about East just like All-Stars in general. Getting closer. At least it's like
voting's like a month away, right? It's coming soon.
I think so. I think the locks for the East, you can tell me if you disagree with any of these. Giannis, Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, Brunson and Towns. I think Garland's probably a lock at this point. And I think Mobley should be.
I'm more borderline on Garland than Mobley. I think Mobley's the lock to me.
Yeah. I think
just because I think he's going to get a big boost for this being his breakout season.
Yeah.
Whereas with Garland, it's a return to form. People get more excited about like, hey, Evan Mobley's finally here.
No, that's absolutely true. I don't know. It would be really hard just like for me to see Garland getting like with the season that he's having.
It would
Like
make me sad.
This is probably his like some of the best ball he's playing. Period in his
I
career.
think it's the best. Yeah, I think
You think
it's the
so?
best
It's
start
like
to
the
the
best
season he's
stretch.
had.
Yeah. Like
Per 36, it's like career highs almost across the board, and the turnovers are a career low, which is big to
that's
me.
awesome because his passing has been great. So assuming we have Giannis, Tatum, Mitchell, Garland, Brunson, Cat, Mobley, that gives us 5 spots left.
You're pulling up the 2024 All-Stars to get a sense of what we're working with here. So we got 5 spots left, you're saying?
And everything so Franz obviously gets it, is going to be, but probably won't because of the injuries. Same with
Paolo.
Same with Paolo. Same with LaMelo, I think, who is again another one.
He's been putting up crazy numbers.
Would probably be locked if he wasn't. Who do the Celtics get outside of Tatum is interesting because like Jalen,
they get Brown probably. I feel like they get Brown off reputation alone.
So
he's been good too, but
I don't like hate. I mean, he hasn't. I would have to think about whether or not I'd have him on my because like he has been. Yeah. It's just like like with these guys who like their primary value is like the creation and the scoring. If they're not doing that as much, and I do think Jalen has been a lot better as like a passer and a defender. Actually, the defensive numbers do not love him this year. I haven't really watched or thought about his defense closely enough to have like a strong opinion. Yeah, this is his least efficient season since 2019. It is not just like cold shooting from 3. It's across the board. Everything is pretty much down. His passing is probably better than it's ever been. So it's going to be interesting because, like, again, like Derek White, is he going to get respect? Because like he's having an even better season than he had last year. His points, his scoring is up. His efficiency is up. Still an amazing defender. Like, I would have a hard time leaving out Derek White. I don't know.
Yeah. I hear you. I'm gonna just to be safe. I think I'll probably expect it to be Jaylen Brown. I feel like that's the safe option there.
I think so too.
Just looking at last year's All-Stars and trying to think of who wouldn't make it this year. Does Scotty Barnes not make it?
Probably not because of health. I would guess
he just went down too.
Bam
Adebayo not playing great. He probably doesn't make it this year.
Oh, I think Hero has a shot.
Hero, okay. I haven't seen. I know he's been pretty good this year, so I have to look deeper into his numbers.
Stats have been pretty ridiculous. I think he's top 10 in offensive EPM this year. Nearly 65 true shooting, 26 points per 75 possessions, best of his career. 43% from 3, best of his career, almost 54% from mid-range, best of his career. And the big thing that people are always kind of noted is like the change in his shot profile, where last season, Hero, I'll just read you. He took this is all per 75 possessions. He took 2.9 shots in the mid-range, 7.6 in 2.9 at the rim, 7.6 in the mid-range, and 8.7 from 3. This year, up to 4.6 at the rim, almost double, down to 3.3 in the mid-range, less than half, up to 10.4 from 3. So he is jacking more threes. He's getting into the basket more. Still not, I don't know if he's ever going to be this is one of those guys who just like, even like a Garland is just probably never going to be a great finisher.
Always going to be limited down there.
But like, Again, like he's still a horrible defender, but I think he's someone who I think career high assist numbers too. Someone who I think is at least worth considering.
Yeah, he's worth keeping in mind.
And I also think
we got.
He's also leading the Heat in usage rate this year by a good margin, I believe, which is interesting.
Now that's interesting, yeah.
Because like Jimmy.
That's just moving on from Jimmy, probably, but still, like that's
because like Jimmy's also having another like career year in terms of efficiency, but like another one who I feel like is probably getting like more disrespected than he should be, but just doesn't have as much usage anymore. And then it's like does Trey get respected even though he's
Yeah. Hey, if they win the NBA Cup, can't leave him off the All-Star team.
I
He
mean,
just
I
puts up
think
insane
again,
numbers. Isn't he averaging 12 assists?
yes, his efficiency has been pretty bad this year. But I think even with the efficiency dip, like the passing and the advantage creation is probably enough for me to have. I don't know.
And you know what? Trae Young's a guy. I know that it doesn't work this way with the voting, but to be honest, Trae Young is a player who you want in the All-Star game because he's fun. He's going to throw lobs. He's going to be setting people up.
He's also like a heel. He's like a villain. He has a lot of personality.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, great showman. Him rolling dice on
the
the next
All-Star game is still
great.
Positional, right? It's like it's.
I think
it's 2 guards, 3 front court, 2 wild cards for the bench.
I honestly don't know. It might be.
I think it is because if so, that obviously.
I think it is, but I'll double check. I'll try to.
Well, so I think my question is who's going to be the 5th starter? Because I think Giannis, Tatum, Mitchell. Actually, Giannis, Tatum, Mitchell, and Brunson are probably. Is it just gonna be Cat? Maybe
Cat. It'll probably be Cat.
I mean, I think Mobley's having a better season than Cat, but I think Cat gets the nod because of his scoring, which I don't hate. Like I don't think that's crazy or anything. Cat's been awesome. So
yeah. It says there. All votes for title league players were ranked in each conference by position, guard and front court.
Cool. So we have 2 guards. So we have 2 guard, 3 front court, 2 wild cards. So we have those. So we assume Garland gets in as one of the guards. We assume Mobley gets in as one of the front court. I would guess Dame gets in as another one of the guards. Probably.
Yeah, he was a starter last year.
I'd guess Jalen gets in as one of the other forwards, like one of the other front courts, like we said.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown.
Who is the last front court guy though? Because I think is
guys scanning the Eastern Conference.
I think Siakam maybe
he'll be in the discussion. I wonder
because the
anyone else?
The East front court's really weak because it's literally like out because we talked about all the guys. It's literally like Siakam. It's Jalen Johnson, who I feel like I don't know if he's there yet, but has a case. And then Jimmy, who, as we talked about, like has the name rack, has the efficiency, still 25-5 on 70 true shooting. I'd probably go Jimmy, but I don't feel great about it.
If I had to guess, I would probably go Jimmy. Again, I think the name recognition does go a long way, but I wouldn't be surprised if Jalen Johnson, again, speaking on almost what I said with Mobley, the guys who have their breakouts tend to get a little bit of momentum too. So I think it's maybe between them.
Jalen has like the 2-way value. Like he's been a monster on defense, obviously an amazing playmaker. So I wouldn't mind that at all.
Siakam could get more of an opportunity if the Pacers turn it around a little bit. I think them being probably a step below where people expected them might hurt him. But also, just to be clear, listen, the All-Star voting sometimes feels so random.
Right, exactly.
We're trying to make sense of it. It's going to be like
it's like a whole their votes. It's a whole different thing of like who we think should be in versus who will be. And then other really interesting one to me is the last. I think a couple other fringy guys can make a fringe case for Vucevic this year, maybe.
Yeah, he's been balling.
RJ Barrett's had a nice year. Is going to have some counting stats.
Ty Jerome.
Yes, Ty Jerome. The really interesting one to me is Cade.
Yeah.
I'm really curious because I would if it was up to me, I'd probably have him in as one of the last spots. I think he's deserving of that based on I think his defense has been awesome this year. His shooting is just incredible. 38%.
Gives you a little bit of everything.
38% on high volume pull-up threes. One of the best passers in the league, has been phenomenal.
9 assists per game.
Right. And it's just the efficiency with him, the scoring at the rim. I don't know, man. It would be hard for me to leave out Cade. I was just the 2-way impact, the fact that he is again the engine on that team. I really think thinking the usage stuff is important, right? He's one of the league leaders in usage, and the Pistons really don't have any other ball handling outside of Ivy,
and they've been competitive this year too.
Yeah, they absolutely have been competitive. So I think just from that perspective, and it's like, unfortunately, like I think Cade had a pretty bad scoring game recently against Boston, but I need to watch some of these games. So this December 7th, he had 29, 10, and 15 assists against the Knicks. He had 27, 9, 14 assists against the Celtics. I'm like, this is I don't know.
Huge
I
numbers.
am very fascinated to see what happens. I think he's probably deserving, but it's like, does he get respect for, like you said, with Mobley or Jalen, like the breakout thing, or I don't know.
Honestly, if it was me, I would give him the nod there.
Yeah, same.
We'll see how it pans out, but man, it's gonna be interesting. I just hope the Cavs get at least 2. That's all I care about.
I would be shocked if they didn't. Shocked. I mean, the best.
If they're still the best team in the NBA, that's almost a guaranteed. You get 2 guys.
Yeah, and like they have all-star, all-NBA level guys. Like this isn't like a 2016 or 17 Hawks situation, like or whatever year that was.
The 2015 Hawks team.
Yeah.
Jeff Teague, Kyle Korver, Al Horford, and Paul Millsap. That was wild. They were really. I mean, they were all deserving of it, but that was crazy that the NBA was.
I know.
We're giving Atlanta 4 of them.
And then I think the West is probably even harder than the East, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. Oh man.
Because like again, starters we have Jokic is locked in there, Shea is locked in there. I think
LeBron because of the voting.
He's
right.
He probably has not been playing at an all-star level this year, but like he's gonna be
the fan voting. It's gonna be.
LeBron will be a starter. Jokic will be a starter. Shea will be a starter.
KD maybe.
Yeah, but like it's like, is he gonna hit the games limit? Oh, Wemby's gonna start. I think he's gonna hit the.
Oh yeah.
There's no way.
Probably.
And then is it gonna be so that last Luka or Steph? I think I'd probably prefer Steph just based on this season.
Yeah.
But there's also Anthony Edwards, who's like really popular. West, so like again, these are the quote unquote locks for the West. And you can say if you disagree with any of them. Shea, Steph, Jokic, Wemby, LeBron, obviously, Anthony Davis, Luka, Anthony Edwards. Did I say Durant?
No. So I would agree. He's
but that's like
as long as he hits the limit.
Is that like all but 2 spots?
As you said, Shea, Luka, LeBron, KD, Jokic.
Yep.
Steph,
Wemby,
Edwards,
Anthony Edwards,
Davis, Wemby.
That's
9 right there.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Booker, probably a lock, maybe.
I don't know. He hasn't been that good this year. I think.
Yeah.
I get like so many guys. I think
James Harden.
Ja.
His numbers probably
Ja and Jaren.
Yeah.
I think Jaren's an all-star this year. And then it's like again, like does OKC just get 1? Like I think J-Dub has a good shot. Because
OKC probably should get more than 1.
Right, and Chet would obviously get it if he was healthy. And then it's like Şengün is probably worth a mention.
Oh, he's probably got to be in there, right? If Houston still
he is, but also like counting stats not that crazy.
Yeah, it's like where do you
West front again? Does he get in over one of Jokic, Wemby, Jaren Jackson, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis? Probably not.
Just listing crazy names.
And then there's still Sabonis, who is just always going to be in.
I would take Şengün over Sabonis.
I probably would too.
I could see the case over Jaren too, but it's tough, man.
Yeah, it's like if it's the East, he gets it easy. But
yeah,
this like West front court, and even like I don't know, like I don't think he gets in this year, but like Gobert is always in that conversation.
Yeah.
Like Randall probably isn't that level, but has the counting stats. Like Draymond, honestly, worth a mention.
Worth it in the discussion. I don't think he'll make it, but
I don't think so either.
We're considering.
But then like so many like Kyrie, like how do you leave Kyrie?
Yeah, Kyrie. We didn't even mention Kyrie yet, man.
Like you said, Booker before. I'm sure there's other people who I'm not even thinking of. Point being, the West is just like
absolutely loaded.
I don't know. I have no idea. I would not want to have to decide. Anyways, back to the game. Let's see.
Yeah, here we go. Hawks got to make sure this game doesn't get away from them. Milwaukee's been, building leads here. They had that 10-point lead earlier. They managed to respond pretty quickly.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how, again, can the Hawks make their shots? Just like another, that was Capella 5 years ago.
Yeah.
That's so many of these four on threes that just
straight to the short roll right there.
Brook and Giannis, two of the best 4-on-3 defenders in the league, probably, right? Definitely, I think.
Yeah,
Giannis,
probably, yeah.
When he's locked in, obviously.
I'm going to plug my MacBook charger in real quick.
Go for it. I'll hold the fort down. We got this double drag. Andre Jackson with the ball. Ooh, Andre Jackson being aggressive. Okay. Yeah, it's not going to make that shot, but let's see. So just a very Dame reliant offense right now. Okay, TP, Cavs legend.
Yeah, he was leading the NBA in 3-point percentage for a while. I don't know if he's still up there because it was kind of close, but he's been shooting the lights out. Surprising.
I have no idea. Oh, the lefty floater. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
4-point game. Oh man, nasty crossover.
Yeah, I just
good job of not allowing the layup though.
Yeah, the Hawks gotta just. It's easier said. It's they got to build a wall against Giannis. Okay.
Everyone's tried to.
Really do think you have to I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an answer for what the hell they're supposed to be doing against Giannis at this point. I really do think you have to hope that the other Bucks can't beat you.
Pretty much, yeah.
Obviously, Chris being on a clear minutes limit. There probably are details released about his minute restriction or whatever that I don't know about.
Yeah, I haven't seen them, but I'm sure he's on. He just came back last week, I think. Double ankle surgery over the summer.
Goodness, that's just ugh.
But he's still, he's got some Joe Johnson to his game, just in terms of not the same handle, but how the rhythm, so smart at changing speeds.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that comp. There's Trey. How are the dogs?
Doing good. He's barking right now. I think my dad's DoorDash is here, so he's greeting the delivery driver most likely.
As they do. Is that a foul or out of bounds? I think it's a foul. Yeah, I mean, it's just I think Capella is just a good case of a guy who's really well positioned and knows where he's supposed to be the vast majority of the time. Dang, I did not realize Dame was this inefficient.
Yeah, 3 of 13.
There's Dyson
back to back. Yeah, he had Jalen Brunson shot I think 5 of 15 in their game, and now James
Brunson and Helen. It was a really good game plan from Atlanta against the Knicks. Talk about another team. I think the Bucks are a slower paced team. I don't know exactly what their numbers are, but I know the Knicks are first or second longest offensive possessions.
Oh, and Dre just gave it up right there. Slipped.
Wet spot on the court, maybe. Yeah, the Hawks forced the Knicks to play in transition. I don't think it was an accident that Josh Hart was the Knicks' leading scorer in that game. He had 21. I
didn't realize he was their leading scorer.
They funnel the ball away from Cat and Brunson. Oh my, there's Capella.
Turn the clock back.
I think Dyson had some awesome moments against Brunson, but it really was the collective, their ability to just show bodies at him, to dig in the lane, almost like what the Rockets were doing to Steph last night or the other night too. Anyways, Hawks are right back in this.
Yeah, roaring back. That was a nice two-way sequence from Clint right there, moving his feet against Giannis.
Love to see Capella, man, just moving his feet. Oh goodness, I love Capella. He's so cool.
It's good defense right there. Stayed down. Stepped out. Oh, three.
Clint Capella, certainly the greatest
second.
Swiss player of all time.
I can't think of any others.
I don't even know any others. So, that's what I'm saying. Certainly the greatest Swiss player of all time.
I didn't even know he was Swiss.
I'm saying Thabo. Is Thabo Cephalosha Swiss?
Let's see if I can find
I
a
did
list
not
of
know
Swiss
that
NBA
Thabo
players.
was Swiss. Another Trey. It's kind of weird.
I would probably take Clint.
Yeah, same.
Okay, Google is saying Enes Freedom, but I thought he was Turkish.
He's not Swiss.
Yeah, Google, you can't trust Google.
Google
anymore,
AI
man.
has gone so down.
It's absolutely horrible.
Oh yeah, Keyshawn George. Oh, born in
Yeah,
Swiss.
Keyshawn George.
Who Keyshawn.
I'm rocking with Clint right now.
Yeah, I don't count Cantor and Vucevic. Like, I guess technically, if you were born there, that like I don't know. I feel like I don't know.
Clint Capella, pouring it on.
There you go. That makes sense, Tiago. That you're Swiss guys. That's so funny. Andre Jackson. I love Andre Jackson. He is a problem for the Bucks offense. It's
been a black hole out there.
It is worse, much worse than Dyson Daniels. I mean, low, but like I think he's kind of like as good as it gets. Like, he's really good at moving the ball and cutting and like playing while having a negative scoring threat. But it's just like ball goes to him and the possession is just cooked at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I think he's definitely useful in matchups like this. And hey, they're back on. If they can just get their points from other sources, but against like the best teams in the league, I mean, again, makes sense why his minutes are inconsistent. I think he's a matchup dependent player, but like definitely just so. Again, not even the lack of shooting. There's like the total lack of scoring, not confident,
dribbling, creation, being aggressive, all that.
Just another example of just like how valuable scoring is, even for complementary guys.
Even just, advantage creation, just being able to attack a closeout. He hasn't even really – the ball gets kicked out to him and he just catches and looks to pass it.
Absolutely.
Even just taking one dribble into the middle of the floor and spraying it out is a big difference compared to what he's done for most of this game.
Exactly. And it's like, man, I think it's tough with the Trey matchup because like he's probably their best option on the ball against Trey. But I don't think like they have an option that's good, that's really good per se. So it's like, is it worth like that trade-off for?
Yeah, the trade-off.
Because
would you rather put Gary Trent on him?
I mean,
and just roll with the difference.
They're all getting cooked. Like,
yeah.
I don't think Andre Jackson's done a particularly like amazing job on Trey. Trey is getting wherever he wants. He's just not making. I mean, he's made.
Yeah. He's not really even looking for his own shot that much yet. I feel like
I don't have
getting
Trey's
others
box
involved
score in front of me, but like,
let me see if I can pull it back.
Seems like he's. I definitely can think of some shots he's missed, but literally like the most Trey game. Like again, I think Trey is one of the most like you have to watch him play to understand his impact guys, and obviously his box score is still amazing. Like it's not a,
Yeah, Trey's got 16 tonight. He's 3 of 7 shooting. He's getting to the line pretty well. He's already taken 11 free throws. So it's like he's not even giving you that much resistance defensively anyways. So I wonder if they'll move away from him here, if Doc Rivers will pull the plug.
Yeah, I was going to say Trey is getting wherever he wants. I wouldn't be super confident in Doc Rivers's, adjustments.
You're telling me it's a high pressure game and you don't feel confident in Doc Rivers?
I mean, yeah.
Hot take.
Like again, you've got Giannis, you've got Dame, you've always got a shot with those guys, but you don't want to be relying on them. I mean, I think the greatest.
And to be fair, they're up 8. So
they are up 8, right?
They're getting it done.
I think it's probably undeniable that I don't think most people would debate with that. Like, Doc isn't necessarily like going out of his way to maximize these guys, right?
Yeah.
Like Giannis is just happens to be one of the best players in the world, and
it's like when you have one of the best players in the world, you would hope that the game plan doesn't always just come down to, well, our team sucks, but at least we have one of the best players in the world. It's like you would rather just have a good team around him and be like the Celtics or the Cavs or whoever else instead of just saying, well, nothing's
Yeah,
really
even,
going
like,
right, but
healthy
we still have a
yeah, even, like,
chance.
healthy OKC, like,
Yeah. So who
so
would you
much.
say are like the tier 1 contenders in the NBA right now? Is it the 3 teams, Boston, Cleveland, OKC? Or would you put anyone else in there?
I think Boston is probably in a tier of their own.
Okay. I would
Um,
actually agree with that.
Trey, oh
I'm
my
okay with
goodness.
that.
Woo!
Oof.
Oh, baby. I love
Getting it going now.
Oh, I love Trey, man. He's so cool.
I would say Boston's the favorite, and then I would probably put OKC, Cleveland as legit contenders, but not quite like the
Yeah.
favorites yet, you know?
I'd say I did a list of this, I was thinking about this recently, and I'll go find that whenever we have a break. But it's definitely I think those 3 are for sure the top 3. They're good Dame off-ball action. Like, oh my goodness.
Do you believe in Denver more than Milwaukee? Where do you fall on that? I think they're kind of in similar situations where they
they're
have
very,
the
very
best players
similar.
in the world,
Uh,
but a horrible
I feel like,
supporting cast.
again, this Hawks team, there's a good example of Dyson on the short roll that Jalen just didn't hit him in space. So I don't really fault Dyson for that play. The Hawks have oh my goodness. like we said,
It's
Dyson
a
has
horse
nice,
shot.
Dyson has good touch when you can get him.
Yeah,
in spots.
honestly.
It's like really struggles to get to those spots. Hawks again, credit Quinn Snyder, like always creating good looks, always feel like their offense is good process, even if the execution isn't always perfect, which is like, I mean, it's Quinn Snyder. This is what he's been doing forever. Also Mizzou legend, Mizzou legend, by the way.
Ooh, Trae Young's really feeling it now. That was a
Interesting
nasty
to see what
crossover.
Trae looks like getting aggressive.
Yeah. And this is what I was saying earlier. You know, they're down 6 now, so Trae's kind of, you know, searching for a shot a little earlier than I expected. But if they manage to stay in it and you get a Trae Young explosion, that's pure cinema. That's what we're here for.
And this is the thing with like they just blitz Dame when you have to have Torian Prince creating plays in the short roll. Obviously they get it back and they created a great look there because of Dame, but like the Hawks totally able to stop that initial, try to get Trae switched on because you have Torian Prince, trying to make plays out of the short roll, which is, Torian certainly has his utility. I would say being like an advantage extender is not one of those things where I'm like, that's what I want Torian Prince doing in my offense.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay. So contenders, I think healthy OKC might be in Boston's tier, but I just don't.
Chet depending.
Chet is the main one, but Hartenstein has had his injury issues.
Yeah.
Caruso's had some injury issues. Yeah, Cavs legend. Caruso's had some injury issues. Like, that's a team where it's just like, I don't feel super confident about their health.
Okay.
But health withstanding, I think they're as good as anyone. But it's just like,
they're just such a perfectly constructed team. But yeah, Chet is the big question mark.
If you don't have, your top 20 rim protector. Ooh, there we go, Dyson. Great try
nice take
there. Definitely some much better moments here from him in the third quarter on offense, which is great to see. Maybe he just needed to see that circus shot going.
Yeah, build some confidence. That was a good aggressive take from the top of the key.
Absolutely. Who was
They've
that?
done a good job of limiting Dame too.
Was that drive by Dyson against Dame or? I don't remember.
I'm not sure, honestly. Feel like it might have been Trae again.
There's like Trae blows right by Andre Jackson, where he kind of stayed in his vicinity, but also it's like it's Trae.
So elusive. Yeah.
So yeah,
I mean, impossible to keep him contained.
I think so.
Really crazy finish.
After the big 3 contenders, who do you think are like the next? Honestly,
I would put New York in there, maybe.
I think the next 2 after that are probably for me Memphis and Dallas.
Okay, Memphis, Dallas.
Memphis is.
I have to think about Memphis a little more. I haven't been able to watch them as
much.
But
I have problems. I think Memphis's big question is going to be their half-court offense, which is just like, they're still installing a new system, still not a really efficient, like insane in transition, amazing defense, has the star power. And I think some of my big optimistic points, one, Memphis is not even healthy. Edie's been hurt. Gigi Jackson and Vince Williams, both not even in the rotation. They're so deep. And I think Jaren has really taken a leap this year in terms of
that's what I've been hearing.
Trey's 77.5% true shooting. That's fucking awesome. They told me he couldn't
to a single elimination game, man.
Yeah, like Jaren, I think his growth as an isolation scorer has been huge for their half court offense. Desmond Bane really struggling. I feel like I am willing to bet on him bouncing back just because of what he's been his whole life, basically.
Aldama's been balling, right? Hasn't Aldama been balling for them too off the bench?
Aldama's awesome. Aldama's really nice. Jay Huff's a nice role player.
They're deep, man.
So deep.
Jay Huff, yeah.
Laravia's having an awesome year. Scottie Pippen is great. Like they just have so many guys. And then Dallas has Luka.
Yeah, they got Luka. You hope Kyrie will give you a series.
No, it's like all Memphis, it's like all this and this reason, and it's Dallas. Like they have Luka and Kyrie. It's like
one of the 5 best players in the world.
It's like, what can you say? You have Luka. It's like, especially for like playoff performers, Luka and Kyrie.
Yeah,
not
bad. Not bad to have.
Not 5 to 10 guys I'd want ahead of those two in the playoffs. Like,
what have you thought about Clay so far?
Well,
he's taking a pretty clear step back.
Whatever. Yeah. He is what he is. I think he was like this last year. I think the real important
little while, honestly.
I think the real important addition it was Najee Marshall. Like he's been awesome this year.
Yeah.
Such an amazing defender, really good secondary juice. I was a little worried about them losing Derek Jones last year just because I thought he was phenomenal.
So important to their defense.
But like Najee's like PJ Washington's awesome. Their center rotation is great. I think just another one of these having like multiple good centers is such an underrated thing in the league to me. Obviously Cleveland.
Yeah.
Like
Gafford, Lively, love both of those guys.
It's like the Magic stay afloat regardless of who's injured because they have 3 starting caliber centers. Like most teams don't have 1 or most teams don't have 2.
Yeah, being able to have good elite to good center play for 48 minutes is such a luxury that I think a lot of teams don't even realize they're
right. Like again, like that's the thing. Like with OKC and Hardenstein back here.
Even Boston. Like I know Boston probably people will point to like the lack of rim protection or whatever as maybe their biggest weakness, but you still have Al Horford and Kristaps when you're healthy. That's a damn good center rotation. And Kornet. The Kornet contest.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's genuinely a really good backup big.
Dude, watching Chris, that was another. Oh my God.
Oh no, he blew it. Smoked the layup, but he pulled out the Rondo fake. I haven't seen that in a little while.
Let's give him 1 point for the Rondo. Like
seriously, some style points, dude. That was disgusting.
Someone in the chat said, "Why would you put Portis on a Kongwu and not Giannis?" Well, because Giannis guarding Dyson lets him roam. Speaking of,
it works both ways there.
Oh my! There we go.
Dyson coming alive.
Dyson,
2-point game.
Giannis can roam off of Dyson, but like you could probably put him on either. Honestly, because Giannis can guard Dyson better than Portis can.
Ooh, all right, we're getting some back and forth now.
Portis cannot guard Dyson. I don't think on the perimeter. Giannis theoretically can, even though he didn't on that possession there.
That's a good point. Trey right back. Let's go. This is NBA Cup basketball.
I love the Cup, man.
This is what I was hoping for. A little back and forth between Trey and Dame.
Trey is
26, 14 in the quarter.
Trey's so good. Trey's
like a weak call. Gotta let him play, ref.
But yeah, a lot of teams. It's a pretty common strategy that teams will deploy against against teams with offenses with very limited creators / shooters. Where it's like, yeah, we'll put Giannis on your worst perimeter player, or like I think like probably the Warriors are most famous, like with Draymond. Pelicans have done this for years with Herb Jones. Like, just play free safety. Let's see what we got here.
AJ Green back out there.
Let's go. That's our boy.
Good spin. Man, he's so tough.
Yeah, I agree with you, J. Joe, that Giannis isn't as much of a roamer anymore, but that's like just the theory behind it. That he isn't as engaged as he once was. But again, like in those, for whenever he is locked in and moving around, few guys I'd rather have in the league in that role, right? Like,
Yeah, you gotta hope that your best player will lock in at a certain point when you're coming up with the game plan. You can't say, well, Giannis isn't going to bring it tonight, so
right.
we'll put him on the worst.
Right.
Player.
It's like how do you? It's like you're gonna try tonight, right? And it's like again, I get it. Given,
Yeah,
I mean, this might be like the most offensive responsibilities ever. Is this his highest usage rate season? I'll check that right now.
I don't know. Yeah, and I wonder how much of like the defense too. I meant to mention this earlier. Just not having Drew Holiday there to help funnel things towards him is another thing. Like,
right,
Dame,
their perimeter
the
talent
defender.
is really weak, and obviously that influences how bigs play, of course.
And also not having Chris out there as often with the injuries and stuff. Like him and Drew Holiday did a brilliant job of funneling things to Brooke and Giannis. Made their life so much easier.
Chris can't really defend much these days, but again, it's like he's old and has had like you said,
so many surgeries.
Surgery on both ankles.
Yeah, this summer.
It's like, how is he even on an NBA court right now, let alone defending? That was a great defensive play
recovery,
by the way. Look at Trey defending.
Wow. He might have got a hand on that. Trey Young.
Look at Trey breaking the narrative.
3-and-D Trey Young.
I think that might have been a block. I'd like to see.
I think he got a hand on it. Yeah, let's see a replay. Hopefully they show it.
Okay, this is Giannis's highest usage rate since 2017.
Wow.
That's probably. I mean, it was a foul, if anything, but it would have been a weak foul. So I don't mind.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell if he really hit him or not. But since he airballed, I'm assuming he did. But yeah.
Okay, so this is the second highest usage rate of Giannis's career. In 2023, he was at 37.8% usage.
Oh my.
That's ridiculous.
It's wild.
He's just drawing. Yeah, I mean,
just barreling his way to the rim. There's nothing they can do.
What do you do? It is just like an interesting kind of. What was that? Almost just like a. What is his. Like, how do you balance as a defense, like walling up on Giannis versus like trying to just let other guys score? Because it's like, again, teams like the Hawks or most teams are going to have to play this game because they don't have one or multiple guys who can handle Giannis. Like,
yeah, I think you got to try and, especially with this version of the Bucks, you got to just try and force other people to beat you as best as you can. Giannis is going to get his numbers no matter what you do, but you got to try and put as much pressure on other people. And, they've done a good job. If you can take Dame off the board, it's really just Giannis out there. And they've done a good job of limiting Dame. You don't want to have both of those guys going because then you're really into trouble.
Credit to Glenn Rivers for a couple nice off-ball sets for Dame in this quarter. Like he had the deep three off of the double stagger. So like, but yeah, it's really tough. And again, it's like you feel like Giannis and Dame should be able to play off each other and create more chaos off of each other. But it's just like, for whatever reason, whether it's the coaching or them or Hunter. Yeah. Hunter is just like, yeah, his decision-making has always really not been great. But like, again, when you just have him like trying to score or drive in a straight line or shoot, he's awesome.
Yeah, when you simplify it, he's been really good in that role.
Absolutely. Okay.
All right, little step back here. Nope.
That was a horrific closeout.
See if they can win these minutes without Trey.
Onyeka, baby.
2 for 2.
Hit another one.
He said, Evan Mobley, watch this. Dude, that Evan Mobley game, the 8 threes or 6 threes, I mean.
It was like 6 threes.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Let me see what Onyeka is shooting from. Onyeka is shooting 20.5% from 3. It is in the first percentile.
Not after tonight.
But like, to be fair to the Bucks, can't fault them too much.
Yeah. Oh, you'll live with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like when they use AJ Green as a screener. That's one of my favorite things that
you got to
like,
stay connected to him.
I just love when teams use their like elite shooting guards as screeners. Obviously, we see Cleveland do it a ton. We talked about this is obviously a very different application of it. The Hawks using Dyson as a screener to really put him in.
Yeah, because if no one's going to guard him, go ahead and let him set the screen and get the advantage.
Yeah, and of course, Dyson is really good in 4-on-3 because he's a quick processor and he's got that good touch like we saw with the crazy little floater he had.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's Chris is just not moving on the perimeter anymore. Kind of like you asked about Clay. I feel like Clay is kind of the same these days where it's like he's passing off every switch.
Yeah.
It's like
not the same defender he once was.
Apparently, Onyeka has a fifth of his made threes in this game this season.
Hey man, I keep saying it's the NBA Cup. Crazy things happen. Big time players make big time plays.
Oh man, I love the
4 fouls for Chris.
I love the Cup. Yeah, I mean he's been a non-factor in this game outside of a couple shots he's made, which is obviously not healthy, but still.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I think he just came back a week and a half ago. Ooh.
I looked away. What happened?
Jalen Johnson, not quite a poster. Are they going to say he was on the floor? Maybe not. Why would it look like he was complaining? No, I think that's one dunk right here.
Ooh, JJ. He's so good. So yeah, among non-rookies, Onyeka is the worst 3-point shooter in the league by percentage. All of the bottom 5 are rookies and Onyeka Okongwu.
I think they called a tech on Bogdanovich. That's why Johnson was upset. See, that always sucks because it's like it's a exciting, high energy play. Let's see, what did he do? I don't know. I mean, we can't hear what he's saying, so it's hard to know. But
they called a tech on. Apparently,
was it on JJ?
I don't know. Either way, I don't like it.
Either way, I don't like it. Especially if it was on Jalen Johnson, I'd like it even less because you dunk on someone, I think you get to celebrate a little bit in my book. You know, it's like it's competitive. It's what we want to see. We want these players to get into it with each other.
Who do you think is shooting better from 3 this year, DeJounte Murray or Eric Gordon? And what do you think those numbers are?
Is it good?
No.
Okay, shoot. I'm going to say Eric Gordon, and I'm going to say 33%.
Also Dame. So Eric Gordon is at 23.8.
Oh, my Lord.
DeJounte Murray is at 25.9 from 3.
What in the world is going on with those two guys?
Ooh,
22%? Man,
Jalen, I don't know what his box score stats look like, but it feels like just impact-wise, he's been excellent.
Take the lead right at the end of the quarter there. Yeah, Jalen's been awesome, dude.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like he's...
I pulled it up right now. So he's got 11 points, 7 rebounds. I wonder how many of them came in that third quarter. Trey had 14 points in that quarter.
Felt really impactful in that quarter.
Yeah, Trey's got 26 and 10. Man.
Yeah, Dyson shooting better than DeJounte Murray is a hilarious turn of irony. I'm sure DeJounte will probably rebound. Well, like, I doubt he's going to shoot 20% from 3 all season. But that is still really funny. The Hawks, man, that trade was so good.
Yeah, to get off DeJounte.
And yeah, it's like they got off a player that is just not good to have contracts and all, and then they got like a really good, promising young player who like.
Yeah, man, they did good. Good awareness by them to quickly get off that too. After making, they recognized they made a mistake with the Murray trade to begin with, got off it pretty quick, and got a good return. I remember when the Hawks made the DeJounte Murray trade. It was, I don't know exactly how long before, but I know it was before the Cavs made the Mitchell trade, and I was sick. I was like, man, everyone else is getting better. Cavs didn't do anything this summer. We should have gone after Murray. And then we got Donovan Mitchell, and I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Careful what you wish for, yeah.
Exactly. It all worked out.
Crazy that 2 teams have traded away DeJounte Murray and immediately gotten better.
It's crazy because he's such a good individual player. I don't know what the limitation there is.
I think he's like a classic, just like floor
good numbers.
raiser who doesn't have much value on like really good
Yeah.
teams. It's like,
Mhm.
yeah, if you need a guy who's going to put up, 18 and 7 or something, and but well, the thing with DeJounte is he doesn't defend anymore, which is it's like
used to be an all defense guy.
I think one of the best barometers for a trade is like how fan bases of the teams are, because like Hawks fans were celebrating, and like
they were so happy.
and like anyone who like was like, oh, he's still a good defender, Hawks fans like laughed them out of the room. And it's like, not saying like fans should always be trusted, but like, good kind of words, like everyone in the fan base, like, this guy stinks on defense, be careful.
Yeah. It's never a good sign.
I mean, it's just another reputation thing, or it's like defensive reputations are so sticky.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been riding that wave for a little while. San Antonio days.
I mean, he was legitimately very good back then, right? Like on defense.
Yeah. No, he was. So. Wasn't he? Did he make all defense, or was he just?
I'm pretty sure he made an all defensive team.
I think he did.
I think so, in like 2017-ish.
Man, it's crazy. It was that long ago.
DJ last.
Yeah, it was 2017-18.
DJ last year's Spurs, absolutely a pump and dump scheme. You know what?
It was like almost a triple double. He was averaging.
The biggest pump and dump scheme in the league right now is the Chicago Bulls.
Vucevic, yeah, and Zach LaVine.
Literally, like highest transition frequency in the league, shooting it, just like jacking threes. It's like that is a pump and dump scheme offense, and hey, it's working. They have a pretty good offense right now. So,
yeah, DeJounte's last year in San Antonio, he averaged 21, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, 2 steals. He was an all-star.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, I remember that.
Classic pump and dump.
Wow, look at AJ Green holding up on defense. Crazy.
Yeah. Love to see a guy like that fight.
He's a really good on-ball defender, like really strong. Like you could see him walling up DeAndre Hunter.
Yeah. Ooh, Brooke. I feel like that's his first 3 tonight. Second triple, thank you. The announcer's corrected me right away. He's 2 of 4. It felt like he had a couple open looks earlier that he missed.
I was going to say, I don't remember the first 3 he made. So
neither do I. Oh yeah, he was the youngest ever all defense at the time. I'm pretty sure I remember hearing that. DeJounte. Did Evan Mobley end up, or is Jaren Jackson? One of those two, I think, are the current youngest ever. Maybe I'm way wrong on that. I know Mobley was also one of the younger players to ever make it. I think it was like him and Kobe were like 2 of the youngest.
What a great defensive possession. I think, is that Brooke or AJ? I guess AJ fouled there. He's like, hand up, mine. I don't matter if it was Brooks, it's mine. And looked like good defense, still a foul, which, of course is. But
Speaking of defense, I think, I'm pretty sure you tweeted this, right? Victor Wembanyama kind of running away with the award, you think?
I think so. And I wrote this in my awards article, I did more detail in there. Yeah. Would be an extreme break from historical precedent. Because the Spurs are currently, I think, like 20th in defensive rating. I looked it up. Since the award was introduced in, I think, 1982, the lowest team defensive rating a winner had was Alvin Robertson of the Spurs in the early 80s. I think they finished 16th, and then a couple of the Dikembe defensive player of the years on the Nuggets and the Hawks were outside of the top 10. But I don't think, at least, I could have missed something. This would be like the worst defense relative to the league to ever have a defensive player of the year. But also, if there ever is a player to shatter historical precedent, it's Wemby. And I mean,
you could even have made the case last year that he was.
Wemby is the youngest all defense player now, probably.
Oh yeah. Good catch there, Tiago. And it's going to be Dyson Daniels, apparently.
No, I think Wemby was younger than Dyson.
Yeah. Well, I think he said that after I was talking about Defensive Player of the Year. Maybe. Either way, I love the Dyson Daniels agenda.
Is Dyson really younger than Wemby? That's crazy. I knew Dyson was really young, but I didn't realize he was that young. Anyways, let's see what Trey can get going. Good float.
Yeah, as I love Wemby, but it does break my heart that Evan Mobley might never win the award now because Wemby's going to win the next 10.
It's tough. I'm very curious to see how I'm fascinated to see how the voters treat it this year. I think they'll probably just be like, Wemby is alien enough. And the Spurs defense, ooh, beautiful pass by Bogdan right there. Actually, no, that wasn't even as good of a pass as it was a catch by Jalen.
Great finish, yeah.
Again. Yeah, Wemby. Yeah, I'm sure Wemby will eventually fall victim to voter fatigue. That's true. But yeah, I would not mind seeing Mobley get his. I'd probably have Mobley. I'd say outside of Wemby, if not Mobley, I think Draymond is again somehow
Draymond's so special, dude.
He's
still
going to be playing at that level till he dies.
Still so good. I know. Cavs fans. That was a weird pass. Yeah, that was. I have no idea how that pass got through.
I thought he meant it.
That was wild. But yeah, as much as Cavs fans hate Draymond for valid reasons with the rivalry, I'm just in awe watching that dude still at this age playing defense the way he is. I
mean, he really is just like a one-man wrecking crew, and another just
way off target pass.
Good read. Good. Again, that's the thing where it's like
good instincts.
So many of the mistakes with his Hawks team, it's like, okay, that was like the right play call, the right read, the right idea, but the execution or whatever was bad. Which of course gives me hope for the long term because you'd think those things can get ironed out.
Yeah.
Tyson.
Yeah, trying to get him off him. Here we go. Oh. What? Yeah. I let my Warriors hate go when LeBron left. I did too for the most part, especially because I was writing about the Warriors for Fansided, so it was like a perfect storm. I was like, well, the rivalry's dead. I'm watching a lot of their games. You found a newfound respect for all of them.
Yeah. I have no particular Warriors malice, but I can certainly imagine from if I was
from a Cavs perspective.
And at the time, I definitely did root. I did dislike them because I rooted for. I love LeBron, and I mean, I've always rooted for LeBron. But
what's up, cool guy? Yeah, the Cavs Warriors.
Harper, by the way,
I wish not to open up this wound, but it still breaks my heart that Kevin Durant went to Golden State because we should have had a trilogy. Should have been a trilogy of the greatest finals ever. But
I do remember. I was going to say, I remember exactly where I was when that news broke. Probably one of those news things where everyone will. I think it's that one. The LeBron going back to LA for
LeBron
sure.
LeBron coming home was more memorable for me, but him leaving LA is also. I remember where I was. I was driving.
I was 9 years old when he came back home. So yeah.
I was a junior in high school.
The Paul George Kawhi thing, that trade, I think it broke at 11 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah.
Oh, didn't the Durant trade break at midnight?
The most to Phoenix.
Yeah,
I think it did. It broke late at night because I remember I didn't see it until I woke up.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
I remember waking up, checking Twitter, and just being like, "The Suns did what? Kevin Durant is where? What just happened?"
Yeah. I remember because I think I'm a very much a night owl. I think I was in Missouri, up late at night, and it's oh my god, I have nobody to tell. I have nobody to talk to except for the other weirdos up on Twitter.
It was crazy because I woke up and I didn't check my notifications right away. And I remember I tweeted something about Kevin Love. And then my next tweet was what happened to Kevin Durant? And everyone was the first thing you did when you woke up was tweet about Kevin Love. I was like, hey man, I was I had it on my mind. I had Kevin Love on my mind.
Cool guy 551. Are we hyped about Rutgers? They had a huge win today. I believe while we were recording, Harper hit a game-winning 3 against Seton Hall, right? Hell no.
Dude, Dan, you understand.
Kevin Love is an attractive man. That's absolutely true.
He had the glow up when he came to Cleveland.
Lost some weight, Oh my god. DeAndre.
We had a good back and forth game.
Yeah, I feel like Rutgers is you got a shot in any game because you have a top 3 player in college basketball. But yeah. Hunter. Oh my,
Wow.
what the
They got bailed out right there. I don't know how that ended up going into the basket.
How did Brooke tip that in? Obvious. Yeah, it was
Offensive
an
foul,
obvious
yeah.
moving screen. That was one of my like I feel like people always love to complain about like the rules and like, rule changes and defense. My only one that I'm really like staunch about is I think the product would significantly improve overnight if they just like totally cracked down on moving screens. Like,
yeah, man. Speaking of the Warriors, I feel like ever since Golden State just realized, hey, if we set a billion moving screens a game, eventually they'll just stop calling it because you can't call it every possession. I mean, you can,
exactly.
but you can't at the same time.
Right.
I feel like they kind of ushered in that era.
I think they're probably better about that than they were like at the beginning. At the beginning of last year, it was just horrible. Like they were calling none of them. Like I think travels, I don't really care about. Like I don't think that's
I don't care about travels.
Like, I think like they certainly have like overcorrected enough from like the crazy start offenses had last year. But it's just like, again, like I really think the moving screen would
Jackson runs the Fear the Sword account. That Warriors hate still goes strong. To be fair, Jackson hates every team, so it's okay. I respect it. I respect a good hater. I don't have it in me.
I do respect some hating. I definitely, again, like there's some deep.
Yeah, cool guy. Fear the Sword. This is like, the blog that runs this. We are a Cavs blog. Ben's our special guest today, but I'm a Cavs fan. Jackson's a Cavs fan. We typically cover Cavs games, but sometimes we watch other games too. So NBA Cup was on. It's a good opportunity for me to say too. Thank you to everyone who's been in the chat. If you're new here, if you want to watch some Cavs games, feel free to hit follow. Stick with us. We'll also, like I said, we watch other NBA games too. So if you ever want to hang out, hit that follow button. I hope to see you guys here again. And thanks for Ben for being here, man. It's been a lot of fun.
Of course. Thank you for having me. I always enjoy talking ball with you. And it's honestly so much fun to do this live. It's
I know, right?
Every time I do something like this, because like I gain more respect for like color commentary.
Color low-key.
Great
time.
Yeah, like I have a lot of respect for people who do broadcasting and do like color commentary because it's hard to like
much harder than you'd think
and talk at the same time. Like you definitely get used to it just doing it a bunch, but it's tough. Like it's tough.
So hard to have it. Like you've done a fantastic job. Even some of the stuff that you've caught, because like I don't think people realize when you're trying to have a conversation and watch the game, sometimes like 2 or 3 plates will go by and you'll realize.
I'm sure we've missed so much stuff. That,
we missed a Brook Lopez 3 somewhere. Both of us missed it somehow.
There are so many things that happen on every basketball possession, like which is part of the beauty of this sport that I hate doesn't get enough love about how beautifully complex the intricacies of the game are. And it's like the Celtics shoot too many threes.
There was that one viral tweet, I don't even remember, but I know in the thread people were like, they don't even run plays anymore, it's just random basketball. I'm like, man, you just don't, like, not to be that guy, but you just don't know what you're watching. There's so much that goes into this each possession.
I don't know.
Warriors hate is reasonable. They're talking about late years ahead. You know what? I will say, I think one thing that made me respect the Warriors more was seeing the dynasty kind of fall off post Kevin Durant for a minute and then seeing them rise back up. That to me was like, all right. I know Cavs fans, there's plenty of stuff that we can complain. Hey, we were injured in 2015. They shouldn't have won. Kevin Durant tipped the scales or whatever. That 2022 championship was as legit and just like got it out the mud, came back from nothing, put it all back together again. Like that one, I was like, I respect it, man. They proved themselves there.
That championship is like the sole reason that I was unwilling to write the Warriors off this year. Because I'm like, Steph's they're all getting older, the roster's not good, but it's like we just saw Steph do this 3 years ago. There's Giannis. Again,
talk the Olympics. The Olympics helped with Steph too, because man, that was a lot of fun.
Talked about some of those issues with Jalen Johnson's live dribble creation, his hand. This has been an issue since he was in high school. He's a lot better at this than he was in high school. He's always had contact aversion problems. for a guy who's just like as ridiculously athletic as he is. And I think he's a pretty stiff player. If you watch him, a beautiful pass by Giannis.
Need it.
Andre
There you
Jackson,
go.
baby.
He hit a shot.
Like,
So
if
we
you
need-
watch JJ try to like bend his torso over, he can't get very far. And I think that limits his driving a good amount.
Yeah.
But obviously he has so many other tools, like his strength and his handle.
Right there, yeah.
Right there. Exactly.
Man, it's been a great game.
This game has been phenomenal. This has been an excellent basketball game. I'm very, very happy with. Yeah. That the Olympic run was just unbelievable. I mean, just like
yeah. I mean, again, as a Cavs fan, having an opportunity to be on the right side of Steph Curry going crazy, it was an out-of-body experience.
No, that's such like a funny thing that like everyone was saying. It's like all the non-Warriors fans like, this is what it's like. It's like
we get it now.
It's like I get it now. Giannis. Oh,
dude,
we missed
Otto Porter in that series, in that title run was crazy.
That was also
he was so helpful for them.
That was also like that was Wiggins' All-Star year, right?
Yeah, Wiggins. And I was pounding the drum too. I was like, I don't know if he should have been a starter necessarily, but I was like, hey man, Andrew Wiggins is balling. I think they were the best team in the NBA at that point. I was like, he deserves it.
Cavs legend, man.
Cavs legend, man.
That's a weak foul
like
call. I hate
3 weeks that he was on the Cavs was amazing. Summer League, man, who could forget?
I hate that foul call. It's awful.
Yeah, that sucks.
It sucks. It's like yes, by the letter of the law, you can't like touch a guy's side, but Giannis didn't miss because of that. He missed because he missed.
Exactly.
That's how I feel. I'm like, if it's like, a letter of the law foul, but clearly had zero impact on the play, let it go.
Just because now we got a whole replay review. Exactly. It's been a great intense game, and now we got to stop everything.
Right, exactly. And again, it's like, if it was like a hard foul, like I get it. And it's like, I honestly don't mind calling late whistles. I know some people really hate late whistles, and I get it. I would personally generally always rather than be correct than be early. But in cases like this, it's just like, come on. Like,
I think the worst is when the call is super late and you can tell that it wasn't even that the contact necessarily was that bad, but just the refs maybe overreacted to seeing the shot miss. You know what I mean?
Yes,
they're like, oh, well, he missed, so he must have got fouled. Where sometimes you just have like a
for sure.
Guys miss layups. I know it's the NBA, but sometimes guys just whiff a layup.
Sometimes guys do just miss layups. That's very true. Even Giannis. Even Giannis misses layups sometimes. Like, Giannis is just, I don't know. He's a human being just like everyone else.
To a certain degree. Who among us hasn't missed a layup?
Like, well, I was going to say, I missed a couple layups this morning. Like,
Karis LeVert hasn't hit a layup in like 3 years.
Hey, man. Awesome.
Karis has been good. He, I don't know if you saw this, but his shot chart this year, it's all threes and in the paint. No mid-range, no Karis mid-range. He's completely cut that out.
Karis mid-range is awesome. I was actually gonna do a Karis LeVert YouTube video.
He's had a really good start, man.
But I accidentally deleted the video footage before I could record it, so I'm probably not gonna do it for a while. I don't want to do it anymore. But Karis has been awesome. I think Karis deserves at least a little bit of 6-man buzz. He's not gonna get it. Just because Peyton Pritchard's
running away with it, dude.
And obviously, I think like Jerome gets the love on the Cavs, rightfully so. Also because of his just breakout, and Karis has been around, but it's cool. Again, it literally is Karis and Kenny Atkinson just fixes him. He's
the Karis whisperer.
He seriously is. I so vividly remember that first round series against the Sixers in 2019 or so. I don't remember what year, but when he was their primary creator in that series with obviously Kenny Atkinson and Jared Allen. And now he's just found a perfect role as a secondary creator, can run some pick and rolls, but shoots threes, attacks, closeouts. His defense has been really nice this year too.
Yeah. He's the closest thing they have to a wing outside of Dean Wade. And so he's so valuable. His role it's really just been simplified. Like they're not relying. He's a secondary creator now. He's not. I'm going to come off the bench and do my Darius Garland impression, where we're just running pick and roll over and over again, and I have to create everything.
Like, they never
Now it's
need
like,
to. They don't
yeah.
need to.
Now he's just play off ball, catch it, attack a closeout. If you do have the ball, we're running stuff, but it's not like you need to bail us out. It's more so you're playing within the construct of an offense now, and you're very good at creating advantages. He's a very underrated playmaker.
Absolutely. See, Tony, I got this new ring today at the flea market. What do you think? It's like silver with like bronze, silver, and gold bands. It's sick.
Okay, I like that. I'm a big fan of that. Cool. I'm a big fan of the rings. I have a couple myself. I don't have any on, but
I was supporting a friend who was selling some prints, and I'm like, let me just look around while I'm here. It's like I'm not going to spend money at the place. And then, anyways, is Trey at the line? I think
so.
They're in the bonus already. Oh, wow.
Bonus.
Okay. This is where it gets real. I really want to see the Hawks win this. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if the Bucks won, just because like I'm never going to be opposed to like Giannis and Dame in big games. I'm excited for Houston. Trey is certainly going to milk this bonus. This is what he does.
Oh yeah, this is a conference finals rematch.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Hopefully
10-7.
Hawks revenge game.
Yeah, it could be. Getting the bonus this early is huge. We got basically half a quarter left. Oh, nice deflection there.
Dyson.
Good contest from Dame. Oh, okay.
It's a really bad transition take by Dyson. Actually, he got fouled, so that's fine. He just
true.
Up.
Yeah, they had numbers though, so I see what you're saying.
That Jalen Johnson play was so sick.
Yeah.
They should
get a replay here. Let's see it.
I was gonna say they should give us control of the broadcast so we can rewind stuff. I'm like, I just want to rewind that over and over because Jalen's he and Dyson have got to be two of the 5 or 10 best pass lane defenders in the league.
Oh.
It's just
absolute menace, both of them.
Instincts, activity. Really is. I think there's an innate. I think especially with Dyson, there's an innate reflexes where I'm sure he'd be amazing. You know those things where they drop the balls or drop.
Yes, yeah. I've always wanted to try that. Dyson Daniels probably would be able to do that in his sleep.
Incredible at those. I was watching the Rams TikTok or something, and Cooper Kupp caught 30 in a row, and it's that's what I would expect from one of the best receivers in the league. But anyways, let's see what they got here.
That's what they should do at the skills challenge. Instead of dribbling through cones.
Am I familiar with Dyson's brother? Yes. I'll talk about him at the next stoppage. Which seems like now. Yeah. So Dyson, for those who don't know, his younger brother Dash is
Dash Dyson. That's an awesome name.
Dash Daniels is, I believe, assuming he goes.
Or Dash Daniels, sorry.
Dash Dyson. Dash Dyson.
Yeah, Dash Daniels is still pretty cool.
He's eligible for the 2026 draft. Just committed to play for, I don't remember what team. It's some team in the NBL Next Stars program. Melbourne, maybe? No, I don't remember. But yes, Melbourne. Cool. I'm glad I remember that. Dash is really good. I've seen a bit of him in the NBA Global, BA Pathways kind of games. That's a pretty low level of competition, but he did dominate them, especially on clearly has his same, his brother's same level of defensive instincts and awareness. Honestly, might be a little better on offense from what I can remember at the time. I'm trying to remember what Dyson was like on offense that stage. I definitely recall him being more limited than Dash. Dash is a really has some nice live dribble passing juice. Definitely a better handler than Dyson was, but still I think some of the same broader shooting and creation issues. But I'm excited to watch more of him. I think the 2026 draft international class is really weak. Uncharacteristic given our recent run of international classes. So strong every year. It seems like 2026. It's him. There's Kareem Lopez, who I believe is Mexican. I think And yeah, like Declan Dewar, I think he's all right. Oh my God, Trey! Trey made that. Anyways, I think Dash is good. I think he's probably the best international guy in that class, but I obviously really far away still, and it's like all the French guys are younger. There's like a lull. I don't know, like a lull. There's two Frenchmen that are 09 and 08 birthday, Nathan Soliman and Hugo Yigma. Soliman is like a gigantic, like rangy big man who can dribble. Yigma is like a power too. But those guys are like multiple drafts away.
Mm.
All right, let's get back to talking about current NBA players.
This is why we got you here, man. We got the draft sicko talking about how old are those players?
Young.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are they like 15 probably, maybe around there? Yeah. That's great.
Anyways, let's see what we got.
That's why we have you here.
That is
a nice take. Yeah.
I just like don't think you can really try. I mean, I guess like it's Giannis, but I'm like taking a charge there. I'm like, but I guess
if you can get there early, but if you're trying to slide in as he's already, taking his final step, you're not going to beat him to the rim. If anything, you're giving up a 3-point.
Look at AJ Green denying the hell out of Trey. He's like, you're not touching the ball.
Yeah.
Good shot right here.
He knows for three. That's what you'll live with if you're Milwaukee. That above the break.
Oh my God! Oh. I don't think I've ever seen Trey run that hard on the chase down before.
Trey Young chase down block.
This is what the NBA Cup gives us.
Right.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, I guess there's nothing you can really do there anyways. But Trey's been ridiculous this game. Absolutely ridiculous.
Such a good game. Both ends of the floor, honestly.
Yeah. He had that one play. It was the one play where he like chased Lillard to like the right corner or something, and then like fought around. Oh, that was the one where we thought he had the block, but it was just like a.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Chris. Oh, Chris missed his first free throw.
All right, we're coming down to crunch time here. Let's see if the Hawks can pull out a stunner. Feel like they've been trailing all game except for that one brief moment, but it's been so competitive.
Great defense by AJ Green again.
Yeah,
I mean that was a pretty decent look. I mean, I don't hate that, but
it's a look that Trey Young can knock down.
But it's
still a tough
honestly,
shot.
Anytime you can keep Trey out of the paint, you're winning.
Yeah, which they had a lot of trouble with earlier.
And I think that's true regardless of like how well he's shooting from three. Even when Trey, oh my.
Man, that was cold blood. The Nasus cam. Let's go.
Dude, I would be hyped as hell if I was Giannis's brother too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even when Trey is like shooting 40% from three, still just like he creates more value out of paint touches than like almost any small guard I've ever watched. Like it's unbelievable that like I honestly, I mean, like Garland is really good at that too, but I don't think he's nearly as good as Trey at that. But Garland is obviously much better. Oh no, AJ Green held out. No,
that's brutal. No. I was just about to say, cool guy, don't disrespect Derry Bird like that. But now he's on the bench.
X factor is gone. Now they're gonna.
He gave them good minutes.
He gave them good minutes. Like,
Gary Trent time.
Man. Let's see some. They have a guy, Ryan Rollins. He went to Toledo a couple years ago. I think it was 2022 draft. Who like, I think he got hurt, but he was playing like ridiculously good defense for them early in the season. So I'm like, but that's also how you know it's dire for the Bucks. It's like, we're reaching. It's like we're reaching from like second round picks that we can just kind of
getting spooky. That Worldwide Wob sitting behind the bench. It looked like you know Worldwide Wob on Twitter.
I actually think I have no clue what that person looks like.
I've seen it. He posts videos of himself now. I think he was sitting right behind the bench.
Wait, really? That's so funny. I need to
the Bucks bench.
Actually, I have no idea what Wob looks like, honestly.
He looks like a regular guy.
He looks like a dude.
Just a regular white guy.
Yeah. In-season trophy, NBA Cup, resounding success in my opinion.
So much better than I could have ever even thought. And I wouldn't say I was a hater, but I was a little skeptical. I was like, is this really are the players gonna care?
I'm
Is it
like
gonna be that
very
fun?
pleasantly surprised. And again, this isn't new.
Yeah.
Like, we saw like how much players give a shit. Like, I guess it's not like it shouldn't be surprising. Like you said, right? Like these are like elite high level competitors.
Yeah.
I think Doc had a quote where he was like, I think it was Doc who said like, you put a trophy in front of us, we're going to do everything we can to win it.
And it helps that these games still count for the regular season too. So it's like you're already taking it serious. Now you add another incentive with the bonus too, then the trophy. It's like it's pretty awesome. I've been very happy.
It really is like that they follow that European soccer like FA Cup type model, and it's been really good. I think. I certainly, again, like, you know, you can criticize the NBA and Adam Silver and whatever. There's plenty of things, but I'm like, this is one of the.
He cooked with this one.
Yeah, this is one.
He cooked with this court too.
This is a really nice looking court. I absolutely agree with that. I don't love like the circles. I know that's like their thing for all of the courts this year. I don't like it. Ooh.
My only complaint is I'll say it feels a little summer league, the court, but I still think it's pretty awesome.
I can definitely see it. Yeah.
Because the way the NBA Cup is written there, it feels a little summer league, but I'm still a fan.
Being summer leaguey. Yeah. You know, I feel like summon.
Oh
my goodness. Giannis.
Oh my goodness, dude. Flashback to the 21 finals right there.
Oh, Chris.
Wow.
Oh my God.
This was insane.
That's all
literally the same play.
And Brook blocked it too. But I think that's probably the third or fourth time that Clint has missed on a lob this year.
Yeah. At least that time he got packed. The other times he just kind of missed.
Oh, great cut. Great cut by Trey. Beautiful off. We haven't seen him as much this game just because they've needed him so badly to create, but like Trey doing some off-ball movement stuff. Like they ran.
It was a great cut.
The first play of the Knicks game, I think they ran a set for him to like get a corner catch off the closeout, and I'm like, wow, okay, Quinn Steiner.
Ooh, putting the body into him.
Yeah, I mean that's just like
huge mismatch right there.
This is
only so much. I think
definitely more in the second half. We're seeing more of Capella's limitations on both.
Yeah. Here we go. Need it.
And just like the
line drive
of this Hawks offense too.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
We're seeing the talent disparity start to come into play here.
Absolutely. I mean that's just again I think the Hawks have talent, but
yeah,
they don't have the level of talent that Milwaukee has. Simply.
Wow, Giannis shake and bake.
They told me Giannis was bagless, etc.
That's always the worst narrative.
Oh my goodness. All right,
here we go. Giannis versus Trey.
This is what we want.
Yeah.
I think he's going to shoot.
Back. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I feel like
time's running out here.
I don't love some of these Trey step backs. Like again, I get it. He can make them, but just in terms of like the kind of shots we know that Trey can generate, I don't know. It's like, but then again, I say that. But then again, I say that the last couple plays has generated great shots. Clint can't finish the lob. Right there.
Right here. Man, what a recovery.
Absolute
strength to do that too.
Yeah, huge credit to Giannis, man. I think like again, this is literally what we talked about. It's like Giannis is just like not the same play-to-play level impact defender he once was. But when you need him in a possession, it's just like he locks it and it's still not looking great. Not looking great for Atlanta.
No, they got to be perfect here if they want a chance.
Right. You need to stop. Yeah, it's just like I don't know if I trust them to get a stop. Chris has been rough. I don't know if they wouldn't do this, but I feel like I'd probably play someone. I don't know, man. I mean, I want to say I'd play someone over Chris, but like who do they have?
But yeah, I was gonna say who comes in.
Maybe like they just have nobody to play over Chris, but Chris has just been like I think he had a couple plays recently where he's lost his handle a couple times. Defense has been really rough. I mean, again, it's like certainly want to give him grace because of the injury stuff and because of the age overall, but these are the kind of things with the Bucks that matter when we're talking about like the playoffs and like the high end teams. And we see against teams like Atlanta who have limited offensive talent, they can get away with that stuff. But like they play a team like the Cavs, like you can't hide Chris Middleton on anyone. There's nobody.
Yeah. It's going to be really interesting seeing how that plays out. Right here, I'm thinking if you're the Bucks, probably just Dame Giannis pick and roll, right? Maybe even just put the ball in Giannis's hand, but probably going to Dame.
Yeah, maybe they empty the floor for Giannis. I would imagine it's the Dame Giannis pick and roll here is probably going to end up being the play. I'm excited for Rockets Thunder too.
It's going to be a great game, man. I hope so, at least. Hopefully it's as good as this one was.
I was going to say, based on everything, I mean, the last Rockets Thunder game was fantastic. Even though, OKC, that was the last one. Oh my God.
Wow, blew it on the inbounds. All right, there you go. Get a score here.
Doc Rivers team moment. No.
What was he cooking?
What
did he draw up?
What did he say in the huddle? He's like, we're going to get it to Gary Trent, and he's going to like jump out of bounds and throw it to
yeah, he's going to save it back to Chris Middleton. All right. Yes. Oh, man, not a bad look. Maybe didn't need to go for 3 right away.
I don't know. I feel like they're kind of rushing. The Trey is pressing late. Like I just don't think it. Like again, part of me gets it because you're Trey Young and he's wide open. And like, yes, I get Trey's been shooting poorly this year, but just given his history as a shooter, I trust him in big moments. But again, it's like I don't know. But it's like, could they have gotten a better shot?
Let's see this right here.
What on earth?
Really bad pass too.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing is Gary Trent had to like full extend just to even get a hand.
I'm unfortunately not sure I can blame Doc for that one, actually.
Yeah. Your inbounds pass has to go inbounds.
I do take that one back. I apologize, Glenn.
Oh man.
Maybe
he didn't do that on purpose.
Chris, you're gonna throw that out of bounds. You see Doc's quote about his throat guy?
Yeah, needs to get reevaluated. I hit my throat guy up. Yeah, that is Worldwide Wob right there in the like leather jacket behind them. Really? I don't know if you saw it. It cut away quick.
I actually missed it again.
Interesting that he's right behind the bench.
Cool.
But that Doc is a crazy man for that quote.
He's like, I'm gonna give these Twitter reply guys another incredible reply photo. But all right, Bucks still not.
They used their last time out.
I'm sure the Bucks are
their last time out there.
Okay, Hawks having 2 timeouts is big here. Actually, I was gonna say
we get a better play
stop here. Yeah, I mean they don't have to foul here. I guess you play this straight up. Yeah, there it is. Dame Giannis pick and roll. Switch.
Here we go.
Switch JJ. It's going to be a
Dame dagger. Dame time.
Yeah.
Dame time. All right. I feel safe to say they're probably going to the NBA Cup Finals here.
I think that was, and again, I think from a Hawks perspective, like, kind of talked about this all game. It's execution failing game plan, right? Where like I don't think you hate that matchup if you're Atlanta, and a Dame like high court late clock ISO is not the worst thing in the world when you could have, it's not the worst outcome that can come from the Dame Giannis pick and roll. Also, I love how dark they make all the stands
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's Dame, you have one of the clutchest players in NBA history. It's like,
yep. Put the ball in his hands.
What can you do?
Yeah,
unfortunately, Tony looks like our Atlanta pick is.
Yeah, man. You know what? It's okay. At the end of the day, I am a Hawks hater since they beat the Cavs in the play-in 3 years ago or whatever. So it's okay. I can make the pivot to Bucks fandom pretty quick, but I did think the Hawks were going to win this one.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, hey, who knows? But
yeah. It was a good game, though. I think if you're Atlanta, you probably feel pretty good about the way you played, getting all the way to Vegas. Give yourself a little bit of a boost, a morale boost.
Something about this Hawks team, man. Like I think they're a piece or two away, clearly, but they have the bones of something really good. I think here, And of course, I think like the main thing is like the trade timeline, or it's like, you have to actually build that house while the foundation is still intact. But
Yeah.
trade to
Hey,
the
quick 2
rim.
points.
Yeah, give him his bucket. Why not?
Need a steal.
Badly. I mean, hey,
I got
if there's any guy you want trying to, actually no, they took Dyson off the floor.
I was gonna say I don't see him
yeah.
out there.
They took him off the floor for offense. That's brutal. Yeah, I mean that's just like the trade-off you live with when you do offense defense subs.
Mm.
The Hawks do need Bogdanovich from 3 years ago. That's true. I mean, even Bogdanovich now, I mean, he just hasn't been. Hopefully, Bogdan can just get back to the level that he was playing at. He was pretty good last year, right? I think so.
He did good against the Cavs last year, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm looking at. Yeah, plus 1.4 offensive EPM, around league average true shooting, 38% from three. Like this year, he's just like the threes aren't falling from him. Assist rates lower, career high turnover rate this year. Just like a guy who has been so solid on like I mean like literally ever since he walked into the league, because obviously he was like an older rookie.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much ever since he walked into the league, Bogdan has been a good offense, at least a solid offensive player. So you'd hope a guy like that.
Just a bucket getter.
Maybe it's like the age cliff. How old is he? He can't be that old. He's like 31, maybe 32.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like he's not that old, but he's one of those guys who's older than you think.
Yeah, because he's been around. I assume he's like 30 to 32, or like 31, 32 is my guess.
32.
32.
Turned 32 in August, so yeah.
31 with 50-year-old knees, that is unfortunately very true. But yeah.
MVP chance in Vegas for Giannis.
Again, this is like obviously you want to win this team, but like again, good confidence boost, like we said, for the rest of the season. It's like the Hawks. I mean, they've beaten all the best. Like again, they beat the Bucks. I guess not the Bucks.
Yeah.
They beat the Celtics, beat the Cavs.
They beat the Cavs twice.
That's crazy. They beat the Knicks. Like they clearly have a form. Like again, this formula of just hounding defense and one of the best offensive engines on the planet. It's a proven formula. Hey, Eli, how's it going, buddy? Welcome to the very end of the playback.
Yeah, thank you for joining.
Yeah. But yeah, I think like again, this Hawks formula is proven to some extent. And I think there's appreciate you, my guy. You're the best. But yeah, I think the formula, and as we said earlier, like Jalen Johnson, if not already, is going to be Trae Young's best teammate of all time. Like that's not a super high bar, unless I'm just totally forgetting someone really obvious.
Gotta beat John Collins, basically. I don't know who else. I was looking through and I really couldn't find.
Yeah,
2021 Clip.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
the options aren't high.
Right. It's
There's
like
not
maybe
many
like
options.
Yeah, it's like yeah. Like it's again one of the guys who I think a lot of us think, myself, like that Jalen Johnson has a higher ceiling.
Yeah, definitely.
But even Dyson, I don't know exactly what Dyson's ceiling is, just because the offense I do think is still a very long way. But he is very young, so who knows? But yeah, that was a really fun game.
Yeah. And I think that's, to wrap up there, I think that's kind of how I feel about the Hawks in general, is like, I don't know what their ceiling is, but they clearly have a high floor. Like they're not just a bottom out lottery team. They got a lot of interesting stuff there. As Demo says, welcome Demo. Dyson's intriguing, man. This was a really fun game. Ben, thank you for joining and bringing all this insight. We got a true basketball sicko on the stream today.
I was going to say, I'm glad we got an awesome game, so we could actually do some real, commentary and talking throughout. Yeah, wings can absolutely, it's like these giant wings plus, like I said, a special all-time offensive engine, and you have a team that is going to be relevant basically always. And the Hawks, I don't think, have done the best job ever of getting high-end talent. Like recently, like I think they're, obviously the Dyson trade was great. Like in hindsight, the Herder trade looks awesome. Like given how poorly Herder is playing these, like that trade like looks amazing now. But yeah, are the Bucks winning the IST? The Bucks haven't played the Thunder yet, right? I don't believe so.
I don't think so. I'm gonna roll with the Rockets, honestly, man. I'm rolling with the Rockets. We're rolling with the underdogs. I don't think they're gonna win, but that's gonna be my pick.
I'm
I
going
just
with
tried to share your Twitter in the chat, but it didn't
yes.
really show up with the short link. But that's
No, I
Ben's
think it
Twitter,
works.
everyone. So if you want to
I
follow,
think
make sure you hit that.
yeah. So wait, so are you saying Rockets win tonight or Rockets win the whole thing?
I'm gonna pick them to win the whole thing just because I'm rolling with the underdog. I don't think they'll actually win, but that's who I'm gonna root for. I want the underdog story.
I think I got to go with OKC.
They're the best team
OKC
still alive.
tonight. I'm definitely very curious about the OKC Bucks potential OKC Bucks matchup because
It would be awesome to see it.
we already got Rockets Bucks and that was a really good game that the Bucks very easily could have lost if Şengün didn't like fumble an inbounds pass under the rim and win the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean the Bucks are like in a single elimination format, like you just don't want to play against
anything
Dame.
can happen. Yeah.
And like I think that same thing probably applies to Shea. And I think J-Dub is probably I think this probably goes for both. Like J-Dub, the Rockets, if I recall, I think Giannis turned it up late in that Rockets game, but for most of that Rockets game, he was pretty rough. And then OKC similarly, I think J-Dub probably one of the best Giannis like force absorbers in the league. And then they have to do a bunch of awesome wings and guards and Isaiah Hartenstein and like
that would be a great matchup, man.
Yeah.
So honestly, I almost want to switch my pick just because I want to see OKC versus Milwaukee.
Look,
I think that would be an even more fun matchup.
We'll get OKC and Milwaukee eventually. I mean, it might not be the Cup final, but we will get. I love the Cup. The Cup
I'm a big fan of the Cup.
The Cup is so good. It's just like, what more could you want?
We approve the Cup over here. I don't know anyone who still doesn't, any non-believers at this point with the Cup.
I was going to say, I've got to imagine any non-believers have been
at this point, man.
At this point, right? Like it's just like what's not to like? We get high leverage basketball in December. Like the players clear. I mean that was all like the whole criticism is right. Like players wouldn't care. It wouldn't be. But overall, man, like Cup is a resounding success. But yeah, thanks for having me on. I appreciate the
for sure. Cool guy asked if you're a regular here. Listen, Ben is an official friend of the show, so he's always welcome here.
I'm fairly frequent on Fear the Sword on the podcast, which I always enjoy talking Cavs. But yeah, I'd love to come back on and do more of this playback stuff. I've never actually done a playback before this.
Oh, nice! It's fun, right?
I did like 10 minutes of one, but I didn't have the stream up. But yeah, this is my first playback. I really like the playback products. Like I've enjoyed like being in other like I think it's a very good idea. Like I think it's a very cool product and it's very unique. And I really like the idea of like
it's like Twitch for live sports. So
true.
Interactive, being able to talk with the chat. It's been really cool. So again, one more time, thank you to everyone who was here today. This was a great game, fun stream. If you're not already following, go ahead and do so. We'd really appreciate it. I do all the Cavs games, basically all of them, as well as other NBA matchups throughout the week. We try to have different special guests on. And today was a lot of fun. Ben, thanks for coming. If you want to plug anything, feel free. I put Ben's Twitter in there. If you're not already following him, you should do that. Follow him on YouTube, and get your plugs in before we leave.
Like Tony said, everything I do will be on Twitter. I'm doing a lot of writing these days about the NBA and about the draft, and all of that stuff will be on my Twitter. Like you said, sub to my YouTube channel. Just my name. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for having me. Just check out my work. That's all I really ask.
Yeah, awesome. Everyone, make sure you check them out. Again, thanks for being here. And until next time, go Cavs. See you guys.
Go Hawks.